Welcome back, everyone, right here to Copenhagen for some VCT action as we have Northampton taking on Xerxia to give us our first elimination match here of the event, which is heartbreaking, Jess, because, you don't want to send any of these teams home, right? You want, I don't know. I just hate seeing people go,
I'm sure you sat there and you watched the pre-show because, we did a smashing job with it and, you love our pre-shows.
You guys nailed it.
Yeah. So I had a particular saying. Yeah. Oh, you were biking. That's right. So you didn't watch our pre-show, but if you had you would have heard me say the days like this in tournaments like this are what I call happy, sad days. Happy because people progress, sad because we do games like this. And especially sad for me because I have to bet against the region I don't want to bet against, have heavy favorites, and then likely say goodbye to that team at the end of the series if that does go the way of our predictions. So that's the sad part about it, but it's the necessary part moving forward.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. As someone who has no feelings and emotions, I have no qualms with this whatsoever because this gets us closer to playoffs. This gets us closer to the stage.
What is up with that side of the desk?
No. I can confirm he's a robot.
That's 1,000% true. We get closer to the stage, to the crowd, to the finals. Like this is what we're excited for. This is what we want to see. And yeah, unfortunately, some people need to go.
He's like, there's collateral damage out there, and I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm hurting.
Just the emotionless esports Doug right here.
Oh
in
my
Copenhagen,
goodness.
Folks. But yeah, look, we're going to split first, Doug, and I'm not quite too sure what to expect here for Northampton. They had a rough first game. We covered it extensively, the pre-show leading up to this matchup here. But, just real quick before the players come out here, right? Like, are you just hoping to see maybe them try something different here on Split, or you want to kind of go to the fundamentals?
I'm okay with what they've done in the past only because, again,
isi podcast apa Bang Ryan?
Right, like if he's in a comfortable spot, he is the key to unlocking this team. Whereas if you kind of shift away from that, does that mess with confidence? Oh, they didn't trust me on what was.
Halo Bang Farel, halo Bang Ilham.
Am I the reason adjustments have to be made? Things of that nature.
Ooh, interesting stuff.
Iya
We'll see what happens in the
Tadi gua lagi
agency
beli
select, but
makan.
it's now time to go ahead and meet our two teams, Xerxia and Northampton. Let's do this.
Upload official, lihat di bawah foto gua, lihat di bawah kamera gua. Si nonton FX. Nah, kita saya pride. Just gini, tadi siang itu buat mana kabarnya? Apa rame hari ini? Rame Bang Leon. Yang lolos qualified apa nih? Halo Bang Bardet.
That's how I feel whenever the music's playing, Cruz. Just vibe and just flowing to the beat, baby.
Makes the hips move a little.
It makes the hips move. Hopefully makes the hips move in game. Cruz was actually fantastic yesterday. Multiple rounds that could have gone sour very fast, and Cruz was one of the reasons why that didn't happen.
Last event we were talking about the controller players, and obviously, got marved in the server, etc. But this tournament, I kind of feel like I'm getting initiator vibes. How many times has he set up his team? Yeah, I mean,
udah nih NTH udah kalah udah.
The top of the list, we just had stacks and whatnot, and then this Cruz is sort of.
Ada yang mau taruhan nggak sama gua? Ada yang mau taruh nggak? Serve kayak bocil gitu, Bon. Emang bocil, Cok. Kenapa Bang Raditya? Ada yang mau taruhan nggak, guys? Taruhan yuk.
Yeah, no, for sure, and I'm glad that every international tournament brings us something new to the table, and it's nice that we're getting that focus on the initiators and what could they be bringing to the table.
Gue pengen Xerxia, gue yang pengen Xerxia anjing. Masa kemarin aja belum dibayar. Taruhan apa ya, Mat? Kemarin. Perasaan itu sama Udil dah. Sama Udil anjing, bukan sama lu kon. Goblok.
Xerxia, though, they have looked great, and as we were saying in the
pinggiran 20.000. Skip. Pur tapi pur gimana? Tapi kalau lu kalah lu harus menang LCQ. Serve berapa? Kayak 17-16 deh. Orang kalau udah kalah. Gua bukan sama lu yang kalah, goblok. Gua sama Udil yang Eskarosi dapat 9.
Right, so what's not to say Northampton can't make the adjustments that they need to make.
Yeah, very true. Well, we're waiting for the
Pertigaron tiap map. Susah kalau gitu, yang penting menang aja.
Okay, fine. Just ruin my day. Don't ever bring Yoru. Don't just debate me for the
Map apa nih? Ini split nih kayaknya nih.
You know what? You're right, Doug. I'm joining you.
Split ya mapnya ya?
Yeah, just big
That's it. I'm the big sad. Look,
setahu gue sih split sih kalau agentnya begini. Oh ya benar, split. Baru lihat gue. Nanti pick split. Sersia pick heaven. Ayo 100 ribuan. Ayo. Gue pegang Sersia. Map split dihapus seneng nggak? Map split map paling kuatnya bom juga, Cok.
Very much. Yeah, thank you, GB. That was a beautiful one. How do I play off of that one? Let's
Handicap 0,5 suruh lu sama bapak lu aja main Heru anjing. Seharusnya kalau dapat jarang main split iya. Heru udah kau hide ya. Itu dia ada tuh. Dia nggak ada warna hijau, nggak ada warna biru. Pacarnya. What pacarnya? Why suddenly you say pacarnya? Pacarnya mana? The one who asking. Weh Indo aku. Stupid girl. Kamu Indo. Hello-nya Bang. Don't add-nya. Halo? Hello Bang only. Don't hate-nya. Hello-nya Bang. What the fuck?
But Zen's going to be trying to at least meet him. The classic pull down, bit of a jumping right click, left down now to the 1v2, but time is running so brutally low.
You rooting who? Sersia, yeah.
It's not doing him any favors, is it? It's going to be Northampton winning that pistol round, and the energy, I can feel it, Josh, honestly. I can hear him as well. They're screaming.
Yeah, I mean, the desk were having a good discussion about whether or not Northampton
Iya, Bang Rian Mamat.
nervous coming into their opening game against DRX. And I think it's entirely possible. People expect this team to pop off just because they played in front of a big
Mantap
crowd.
aku.
But their first time in front of the crowd, they choked. They played terrible.
So stupid.
That upper final was
He's so
disastrous for
stupid.
Northampton, and it took them a while to get into the groove. I don't know why it would be any different here. They haven't suddenly matured into a very
Ngapain sih Ban watch
roster.
party?
They have only formed a team for a few
Nggak apa-apa, Cah.
So here's Northampton again, all grouped
Gue maunya main, tapi udah janji watch party tadi. Gue tadi mau main, Cah. Tapi udah janji watch party, tai dah.
One on a line aside angle, slow orb as well, just in case there was a player deciding to perch their way up there.
There's a
But
big
paranoia.
stack here.
Yeah, it's just going to be running straight into this one with the Hawk. No one's really dealing with it, but the Northampton players finally.
Kamu mantap, mau nggak jadi pacar aku? Tolol. Monyet main.
Yeah, it could have been a little bit dangerous there. Xerxia had the right read. Northampton put in out a B hit, an A hit. Yeah, really testing the full depth of the playbook early on. But now they've got the potential.
Map ini bisa kalah sih Sersia sih.
You are going to see fast-paced gameplay.
Kalau lu seperti HyperX udah main sekarang. Diam Owen anjing. Scary. Pakai Omen zaman dulu banget nih.
Not afraid to support him. Supplement him with the stuns and the paranoia, whatever it might be. Anything to try and
Stunnya bagus loh, what the fuck. Ya, meteor idiot. Gila, B-nya dilepas, Cok. Keren juga nih Sersia nih. Mantap sih. Pesusu jadi nggak? Udah gua chat Udil. Udil parah Udil. Sabar Dil. Gua liatin Dil chatnya Dil. Udah gua chat Udil.
Could have bought time for Zen to go for this flank, but now it's just useless. He's got 8 bullets in the headhunter, hasn't even seen a player that he could have used them on this round.
Lihat guys. Udil anjing. Apakah kamu Udil suruh memeo? Saya mau klaim pai susu. Nggak dijawab, cok. Parah banget. Itu siapa? Nggak tahu, gue cari di Discord BWL. Coba apa Discord lu? Apa Discord lu? Parah Udil, iya parah banget. Gue mau klaim pai susu gue nggak dijawab. Gue Udil doang. Apa nama Discord lu? Udil hashtag apa? Malam. Hey, people talking other thing and then you say malam, right? And then people asking you and then you don't answer because you don't understand.
Found a little more than they bargained for, perhaps, with Surf opening up that first kill.
Was going down as a brutal. You no longer have those smokes to try and get that free entry, just trying to lurk through.
And also, in these slower rounds,
You think funny, Abigail?
Even if Blackwiz is alive, he's going to have to be expending his smokes just to allow that pressure to happen.
Meteor sih jago sih. Orang.
Scary though. Just hugging the pillar, making sure it deals with any.
Gila scary pakai Phantom, what the fuck?
Look what's happening in small. You got Foxy just running Jojo down with the spike. I mean, this round was chaos incarnate for Northeption. They try and make something happen.
Udil 9670.
With utility, they don't have very much for that side of the map. No Cypher with cages, for example. No Astra using pullback smokes. And then tried to do some kind of pop into
Udil 9670.
So 2-2. Northeption to an eco.
Accept gua deal. Chat gua deal.
Looking to see if they can do some damage in this one. Meteor does have knives. Anything's possible. A couple of points away from the old points. It looks like there is going to be that. Once again, big clash over towards A main. Meteor just running forwards. Blade Storm still in his hands. Still got it, and he knows there's a player just running and waiting into the elbow, but Surf is just hasn't teleported away. Meteor's going for a large wraparound. He could be able to do some serious work, some serious damage, but the smoke still blocking.
Sort of.
Just dealing an elegant solution, I think, to what was happening in front of them.
Wow, sort of. Nice. Because by default, what the fuck?
Scrap, isn't it?
That's also such an amazing response by Xerxia. They know that Meteor
ada aja yang buat fake. Gue tadi di Discord BWL.
And even when they play online and nowhere near as dangerous. There is no team at this event that relies more on their star player. When you look at the percentage of first kills or kills that Meteor gets, he has the most first kills out of any player at the event and the second most kills as well. So if you just avoid Meteor and fight the other 4 players on Northeption,
Meteor.
that's a very good win condition for me.
Iya sih, gue latihan sama NTH sih, Meteornya sih jagonya jago mampus cok. Nggak jago mampus sih, tapi jago banget. Kalau oleh-oleh celana Bali lu jual juga nggak deh. Baju Bali aja sekalian. Mamat anjing. Dukung Xerxia. Iyalah, masa gue dukung Jepang? Saf lagi kena banget, cok. Udah 2 hari, cok.
Are attempting to take mid control off the back of this, which I appreciate. I like that. But Meteor's burnt his dash. And Zen on the other side of the map at A ramp again. I think that's going to be a difficult spot, especially with Meteor falling. That is the tip of the spear. Now it's a 3v4.
Oh iya, Dil, gue tahu itu, Dil. Dulu temen gue juga ada, Dil. Pas SMP dia beli tuh anjing, idiot banget. Dapat berapa ping? Server Hong Kong, Bang, dapat 50 ping. Ini kalau apa? Kalau NTH-nya kalah, itu Zeta senang banget, cok. Senangnya senang banget. Jepang penjajah, weh, masa didukung.
Zen has managed to pick up a Vandal too, so saving more than just a few of his tour de force bullets into the next. But if you think about this match as a big picture, Brent,
Menang nggak tuh lawan NTH? Menang.
and both of these regions have made top 4 events before, but not these teams. These teams haven't made the top 4.
Yeah.
They've both been living in the shadow of their big brother.
Ingatan Lukman mesti terjebak di 1942.
In the shadow of HyperX. And Northeption as well living in the shadow of Zeta Division and what they've been able to accomplish at the prior events.
Such a high bar being set.
It's absurd, yeah. And Northeption have had the same opening to Masters that Zeta Division had. They came
Ngerian Zeta jauh. Kemarin itu gue nggak tahu kenapa finalnya Zetanya jelek mainnya. NTH Zeta itu jago banget, Cok. Ayo nggak ada lawan. Ah, lu handicapnya 6,5, goblok. Menang 13-6 aja masih. Iya, menang 13-6 baru menang, tai. 13-7 udah kalah, goblok. Gila, mereka keyboardnya Obi jelek banget. Keyboard zaman jebot. HyperX minggu depan kan. Lukman, lu nggak usah bully-bully Mamat lu, Lukman. Biarpun Mamat nggak bisa ngomong sama cewek, yang penting Mamat nggak tahu. Ngomong-ngomong handicap, bet yang GE kemarin. Sersia kayaknya mau nge-stun sama nge-flash A nih, guys.
That rolling thunder could be something that they use, but they need to take some control early on in the round.
Incredibly passive.
Worried about Surf's operator. In fact, it's Sushi Boys hiding here.
Just hiding, tucking into the corner. I mean, the stun obviously connected there, but you see Xerxia just using a ton of utility to try and potentially bail him out. Oh, the spam just onto that angle. The crosshair placement was immaculate, but now the return fire. Look at that rolling thunder. Right into
Lu pada ngapa sih? Maaf, gue ketinggian ya. Gue turun, sabar.
Utility, they've bled out of Northeption there. Zen trying to make his way up a ramp. He has found an opening. Scary falls. And now this is the best chance that Northeption have had for a round in a while.
TP cancel.
I think that's supposed to be a fake over towards A, and they're silently working their way up B heaven, but this allows Surf to have impact.
Yeah, just
tapi ini ada.
Contact peeking into it. Right into the operator.
Lu lihat tuh, lagi kena banget, Cok. Gila dah, ini bocah tuh, lu lihat. What the fuck? Gila, tiba-tiba jago banget, anjing.
Bailing them out at the perfect time. He was
What the
easily
fuck?
their star player when Xerxia went up against FBX. Won the MVP despite losing. Plus 12 in first kills to first deaths, but rounds like that, you can tell why they want the operator in his hands. Yeah. I think it's poor decision making though from Northeption. I think when you have the advantage,
Ini nih yang second shot.
At a ramp there, just committing to an A split is a great idea. Contacting around the map is begging to be punished by Surf or any of these other
Surf kayak Rizky zaman AE. Aisan, iya. Din ko maemay. Deal. Di score aja deal, gue bayar ntar deal. Udah buy out Surf aja.
Just reading the play perfectly and no attempt to pump the brakes there for Northeption. Allows Xerxia to readjust their positioning and collect.
Enggak, Bang Zidan, Mamat udah di streamnya Alexi mulu dia sekarang.
Xerxia's response is very nice. Remember that Xerxia have been practicing for so long and played so many matches against HyperX.
Nge-whip. Ya Allah. Nge-throw, cruise, scary, nge-throw. Nge-throw. Siapa yang nge-throw? Sayang aja sama penetisnya dia. Nggak tahu Bang Martin. Kalau mau tahu, donate 2 juta, gue kasih tahu. KTP Mamat udah Filipin sekarang. Nge-throw tuh, lihat 2 orang nge-throw nih. Tuh 1, 2. Tapi nggak apa-apa. Mereka ngelakuinnya bareng-bareng. They do it together. So that's okay, bro.
The opening of the round was very poor, but they were still able to salvage it with some nice mid-round play and a great clutch.
Gue lagi bikin sim internasional. Udah chat di HP ya? Udah gua chat tuh Discord lu. Lu chatnya aneh-aneh nggak nih? Bayar bet GE dong. Pai susu mah dari bos Udil. PT Pai Susu Sejahtera .tbk. Dia jago nggak? Jago tapi nggak sejago Zeta. Minimal utang bayar. Utang siapa? Mamat anjing. Udah jadi admin masih minta bayaran Pai Susu. Iya makanya. Caster yang di Bali ditraktir semua mau deal. Masa gua Pai Susu aja nggak ditraktir? Parah banget, bangsat. Ya Allah, dia mau nembak si Meteor. Dia mau nembak si Deriali yang kenanya Meteor, nggak kesel tuh Meteor anjing.
Off the back of utility being used in B main, they push out of A, and that Sushi Boy is taking an advanced position because he's pretty confident Northeption are not going to default.
Pintar anjing. Nih lihat, dia mau nembak si siapa? Saginya.
And then their response to collect Blackwiz in sewer. They're 2 steps ahead.
Aduh di Discord kok di YouTube abu-abu ya. Tolol nih orang anjing. Nonton MU nggak tadi? Enggak. HyperX aja gua nggak nonton, apalagi MU. Mampus lu Meteor, goblok. Mampus. Anjing B-nya dilepas full, cok. Ini tim gila dah. Aduh. Susah, wakilnya Jepang NTH. MU dapat piala, ya gue lihat tadi barusan. Meteor sama Texture sakit mana? Nggak tahu, gue nggak tahu persis. Karena gue nggak merhatiin mereka berdua. B-nya dilepas full anjing, imba banget. Tuh lu lihat. Apa sih? Oh, gue ngerti. Lu lihat, menang nggak? Lu lihat, ini tim sih gila sih. Liverpool save strat. Enggak. Beda pelatih, bos.
Foxy at the beginning of the round used his horn to A ramp. That didn't see anything. Then Foxy calls for his players. You guys can leave. They're not A. They're not A. Yeah. He uses another prowler just to make sure.
Dulu Soldam di NTH ya.
I swear, they're not A. Just go and stack B. And Northeption have just been too obvious in the entirety of this attack half that they've caused Xerxia to lose respect for it completely. I mean, they can make these kind of gamble stacks without having to worry about a lurker, without having to worry about a default, a fake. All of these things that Northeption could and should have been doing early to condition their
sudah bisa diabol-abol. Kayaknya 2-0 nih. Sumpah 2-0 ini. Habis ini Haven lagi. Gue jadi NTH juga ya. Kalau gue kan Zeta jago banget tuh. Terus gue bisa ngalahin Zeta di final. Gue mau dibantai juga di sini, misalkan di sini kayak dibantai kayak mereka, gue nggak masalah anjing. Tapi malu sih sebenarnya.
This is off nothing. This is based off a timing and a fact that they are anticipating Northeption to quietly be taking B main control.
Mandi penting Zeta. Jauh lah. NTH itu dibantai awalnya ketemu. Menangnya di final si NTH. Yang bikin susah lawan Sersia. Lu nggak lihat tadi? 4 mid, B-nya dilepas. Send free. Heal. Oh, Saginya dibimin. Lihat. Entah itu Scream sama Boom kalah padahal beda ping. Gak gitu, goblok. Gak ngaruh ping anjing. Kan sama-sama 40-50. Spike is down. Webcam are going to try and play this one in the post plant. They're rolling Thunder to see if they're advantaged, but they're stunning up their own teammates. Blackwiz. Oh boy, still gets it, doesn't he?
Zen is stuck here, worried about somebody pushing behind him, can't really help the rest of the team. The question is, what can Xerxia do to punish? And then Surf with a headshot with the operator.
Hunter knows he's there, but Jojo spotted. There's one down.
Masuk kak.
The 1v1. After shocking
Aduh, ente.
Swing by Jojo. That's sublime.
By the way, Ban famous bener join Boom. Lu join Boom, goblok. Kalau pikir-pikir sayang banget HyperX kalah sama Zeta, iya.
Particularly coordinated compared to what we've seen in the past, but
they need to get their feet under them quickly.
Opportunity to do so, obviously, with a bit of a break in the tempo at the half-time. We're going to see what our analyst desk has to say about this first half.
Well, that was a half. That was a half.
Yeah. That was
a half and a half.
A game of Valorant.
That was. I mean, you know, look, I'm not trying to be disparaging there, but you know, Doug, it did feel like there were times where Northeption were it almost looked like they were just scratching their head as they were trying to play this game to figure out what do they have to do, but it feels like the answers are in front of them. The skill is clearly there. They were able to pull forward.
Yeah, I think they look lost. It's probably the best way to explain it. It's kind of what you're alluding at. And honestly, it was Brandon Josh who said it on the desk. Oftentimes you look at Split and you go, 4 is fine. 4's pretty good. You can do 4. Yeah. But the truth is the 4 that they won, number 1, didn't necessarily look close. That last round notwithstanding. And I think it was Josh who said it. He's right. Like, they are such an attack-heavy team. That's a difficult thing to pull.
And Cruz is just running around, just doing his thing. It's kind of like, you know, picking up right where he left off yesterday.
It's funny as well because I sort of said it kind of looks like team deathmatch.
HyperX bisa pulang sih kalau ketemu Sersia lagi.
And we spent pre-show talking about Cruz and saying he's really, you know, helping getting his team in. He's been a great initiator and whatnot. And I think he's just kind of jumped in on the fun a little bit. He's got, I know what my utility needs to do early round. And once I've expelled that, I can jump in and be yet another gun. And he's quite a capable.
Uncomfortable banget musuhnya si Cruz. Dia megang musuhnya kayak gini, cok. Kayak gini anjing. Uncomfortable banget.
Xerxia have done an excellent job, or they did in the first half, of applying pressure from different areas of the map. Two things come to mind. Sushi Boy's on that flank into spawn, which, right, everyone expects that, right? The lurking raise. And then towards the end of the half, the rolling thunder into B main that, ultimately it didn't work, but they are applying pressure, right? Like, that's suffocating when you don't feel like there's anywhere that you can go. You neuter so much of an attacking team's options. It just doesn't pan out.
Yeah, well, they're going to need a lot of options here. They're down by 4, but they are on the defense, so that could be a bit of a shining light here. But as Sideshow said, everything Xerxia touches turns to gold. Maybe they can find gold here. Let's send it back over to Brennan Sideshow.
Thank you very much. Yes, Death's Crew, let's get back into this one. What a vitally important pistol round this is going to be for Northeption to answer back, I think, at this scoreline. For map 1 of Split here, this elimination game between both of these teams.
Zen looking to take contact down mid. Nobody particularly there, a haunt that he dodges, and now Foxy may stray into a sight line.
Trying to bait a bit of that flash and a slow orb deep.
He knows there's at least a Breach and a Sage playing here at the moment, and instead of Xerxia going to take B as a reaction, they've gone to try and clear out mid. And that is going to afford Zen opportunities.
Yeah, we'll see. Actually, going to use the rendezvous to go back. The wall goes up, but plenty of players to try and take down pieces of it. Swing time from Meteor. Doesn't have the dash enabled. Playing inside of his own Cloudburst. This is an absolute insane play. The stun catches. You do not anticipate him to be this close. You don't expect it, surely. The reposition, he finds the one. Where's the rest of his team? Pivot straight into A.
pivot into A is there. Trademark slows them down a little bit, and Blackwiz attempting to anchor.
It's the one, nade up top though. Reali.
What doing, bro?
Spike drop down. Meteor wants to try and find that timing. 2 shots rattled off. Can't quite get the third to get the kill, but now he's dropped down. The Flowerpot needs a bit of help, needs a bit of support, but maybe he can just do it. Awesome, you've got to be kidding. Jojo eventually coming back into the fight. He's like, oh, okay, you've already taken care of it. Got a couple of kills, why not?
What an insanely important pistol round for Northeption. That does get them back into this game. Had they lost it, I think there was very little chance. But Meteor, again, just making the solo plays. I think he actually got stunned by his own breach as he took that position. And then he drops out of heaven before Jojo's anywhere near ready to support him. But Meteor is so confident in being able to take these solo duels and put the world upon his shoulders. And he delivers fairly often.
Just not worried about, you know, the correct timing.
Owen sekarang kirimannya udah kurang. Gua belum pernah lihat lagi sih.
Proper timing is predictable timing to Meteor.
That's true. It's a good approach with the B main control. The one-way setup play is just trying to.
Owen kayaknya berubah haluan, Cok. Dia nggak suka yang cewek lagi. Mat. Makanya kayaknya koleksinya berkurang. Soldam gak main lagi ya. Kapan dia ke VCT nggak tahu, Bang. Wah, udah lihat, Mat. Yang kemarin. Tapi gue lihat lu update lagi tadi, tapi gue belum lihat. Dia semenjak liburan di Labuan Bajo jadi anak senja di sekarang. Siapa sih Owen?
Teleport up close just so that he can trigger the sound cue. Zen taking contact. Has to rendezvous and respect it though. Putting a lot of damage into Foxy. But fighting over that mid control, making sure that they exchange a couple of bullets, bits of utility.
Iya si Owen siapa lagi? Parah.
The back of their minds thinking, okay, well, you're getting that control for free, but Meteor's still holding. A bit of a whiff on the shot.
Jangan pick.
Still wants to try and take it, and this time comes up with the goods.
Huge play. Grabs another tag.
You've got to be joking. This guy is an absolute menace.
Jago banget, bos.
Wandering into it. Shot after shot.
And that is a Meteor round. Shooting
Jagoan Patipan na Soldam.
He will produce rounds like that where he has no right to, but he's so mechanically gifted.
Update, Adiswan, update, uy.
Even when he was playing against DRX, even when he was playing against DRX, he was still finding some of those moments.
Dia bukan orang Jepang, Bang Riyadi. Dia bukan orang Jepang, dia orang Korea, Cok.
This is looking like it's going to be just a flawless conversion there of the bonus. I mean, Foxy's not even attempting anything, of course, wants to just save that rifle.
To try and explain how big Meteor is for Northeption, there are only 2 players in this tournament who get more than a quarter of their team's kills, and Meteor's one of them. And he's also #1 in terms of how many first kills he gets compared to the rest of his team. He gets 47% of Northeption's first kills. Yeah, that is ludicrous. No one else is even close.
I mean, definition of a hard carry player.
Yeah,
with the numbers and just that ratio of first kills that he's putting up.
And the question is he able to maintain it over the course of
Ini nih yang
against
imba
very
banget.
good opposition? And Surf is that.
I mean, the goal to just repeat that a 3rd time as well and still come up value. I mean, why not?
Jago nih orang.
Bonus, you're taking risks.
What's crazy about that play too is he goes for a peek the first time and Surf is dueling him. He re-peeks and Surf is still dueling him. He re-peeks a 3rd time and Surf has turned away. Yeah. And he's like, Surf is like, no one re-peeks me twice.
The 3rd time with his teammates facing?
Yeah.
It's just so unlikely, but it's those... Listen, sometimes the unoptimal play is the best play.
And for Northeption, they are now firmly back into this map.
Tuh lihat catatan semua tuh, bos.
And there's the notepad coming out.
Yep. They are slowly gaining control back. One more round to make him even in it. Xerxia, not even able to get a single round on the board on this half.
One of the players that you're going to start seeing more and more attention focused towards is Sushi Boys. doesn't play entry very often for this team, but he has done in the past on Jet. This event, we're starting to see him run into the Raze role, and he's currently sat 5 and 10. Now, that's not a problem on their defense side, because his decision-making was really good. He was finding opportunities to flank sewers, and etc., etc. Now that you get onto the attack side, though, this is where Sushi Boys is expected to use the
susah kayaknya pakai ini.
Scary and horn and stuff like that. Yeah, and he needs to be finding space and entry picks.
Karena nggak bisa lihat.
Not necessarily in this round, of course, but once they start to get guns back.
The money's not great for them. Enough though. A rifle in the hands of a few of them. They break this sage wall that was just impeding them. But Zen is in such a slight off angle, isn't he? It's a position that's difficult to clear unless they want to use some utility into it. Just double facing for now.
It's such a nasty angle. You're not pre-aiming that spot whatsoever if you're Xerxia. At the same time, he is a little exposed. On the anti-eco.
Yeah, Meteor's got that dash enabled. Does he want to try and take the fight? Of course he does. Bit of a dodge off the
Guys, gua mau cek sesuatu.
He's hugging the wall.
Soalnya Xerxia yang pulang.
Surf was watching.
There's the double-edged sword because he's actually given a Vandal over in ropes.
Blackers being pressured, has to just make sure he teleports away.
And now Xerxia have 2 Vandals to use in a 4v4 situation.
Now time is running low. Horn's going to get destroyed. No real information other than just knowing that Blackers are still playing in this area.
30 seconds left.
Where do they want to try and end out here? Xerxia looking like they are trying to end over towards B. 2 players just anchoring it down. Jojo hugging this pillar, has utility in his hands. He might be able to do some serious damage, and just look at that. Cruz gets his head ripped straight off. Paranoia in play. The swing, the support is there from Zen. The reset of the aim. And that is it. They even up. Split thus far. 8-8 is going to be the scoreline.
Such an important round for Northampton. Both of these teams heavily struggled in anti-eco.
Dari Ali. Wake up, brother. Skincare rutin lu apa? Nggak ada, anjing.
Northampton, when they got thrifty against the RX, they just crumbled. They lost every other round in the half.
Ini nih meteor nih. Ini meteor kan ya? Bukan. Meteor kacamatanya lebih tebel. Curse enggak 84 tadi bukan 93. Tapi Tero di split tuh emang susah, Cok. Ini ngeselin sih Jokes Jo. Tugasnya cuma nahan stun begitu, susah banget anjing. Boom, kok nggak main VCT Copenhagen? Ntar bang, VCT Champion main, boom. Lu PMO tapi masih cara-cara aja ban orangnya. PMO apaan? PMO. Nice. Pantas ya bakal split. Nggak ada hubungannya. Amin Heru, lu anak yatim Heru. Thank you guys yang aminin, semoga doanya terkabul dan kalau lu berdoa juga bakal dikabulin. Amin. Semua doa lu dikabulin. Biar lebih jelas.
Very disciplined from Xerxia, almost to the point of playing a little too passive for me, but they were diligent in terms of funneling the rest of the Northampton retake onto the spike and then peeking. And honestly, against some of these Northampton players, I can understand why you wouldn't.
Si Sushi Boy ngepick begitu di one tap gimana lu?
Both these teams perfectly happy to just play with complete confidence, but it's just about, you know, who's wearing that mantle at a given time. Sometimes you can feel.
Kalau ngehit sama, iya benar. Bener Bang Raditya. Tapi itulah tugasnya coach Bang.
this time supporting Zen for an aggressive hold of A main. So they have information towards both extremities Northeption on this defense.
Ngobrol Bang Suprianto, mau ngapain?
Almost 5 players in mid for Xerxia.
Jokes Jo dibacanya Joko, goblok. Doa anak moderator dikabulin juga. Of course, bro. Amin, Bang Dika.
Giving them all the space in mid, giving them enough rope to hang themselves, though. I think Xerxia sometimes struggling to execute from mid control into the site.
What's the play here? Paranoia, never rolling thunder. Why not? Combo it up on top of the haunt.
Rekodnya bagus, tahi, what the fuck.
To try and take care and deal with some of it, but takes the slight angle. Below, teammates going to be helping him out, but they still have B main control. Blackwiz was just waiting, tucked into the corner.
And it is the same problems. Xerxia, without extremity control, can't go for these splits as easily. And it's a 2v4. Surf and Scary are the 2 best clutch players for Xerxia, though.
Surely just going to stick this. Okay, respect being shown. Get into that post-plant scenario. Surf even finding kill there onto Blackwiz, pushing their own smoke. This is now getting more than dangerous. Mousepad, they're in a pretty good position. Meteor dashing forwards. Luckily, doesn't end up going down, but now going to start to stick that spike. Gets it to half. All the way. Wants to take the duel. It's so risky. Quick tap. Try a favorable fight. How would he spot it?
Nice.
But eventually he gets it. That's a Red Bull clutch, according to all our accounts. But yeah, I mean,
in some sense,
Siap Bang Muffin.
that is unbelievable that Xerxia, with Surf and Scary, the solo players alive, win a 2v4. But at the same time, they gave Meteor so many opportunities to win that. This dash.
Scary bisa nge-whip begitu.
Scary missed a lot of bullets there. And then Meteor had many different opportunities to dance around the Headhunter bullets too. At the end of the day, though, it is a really big deal that Surf
Foxy teriakin orang Jepang, why? Kayak orang Jepangnya bakal ngerti aja, anjing.
This is one of the first times that they've taken B early on, attempted to push A, but Surf gets caught by such an aggro peak.
Meteor's just doing that alone. Operator.
Yep.
Contact peek up through A main and he gets that kill.
Why not? The thing is, though, he has never seen a player over there. They don't play A ramp, so he's not scared.
Sakitan Scary apa Pauji? Scary lah. Teriakin Nani.
See if they can work their way around A. They have to be aware though that Meteor was around here. Operator in play. How are they going to deal with this one? Because I've seen familiar scenes. Prowler just off to the side. Out of utility, that's going to be the satchel and the stun.
Kalah nih.
Mistimed opportunity from the re-peek, and indeed he does. Why not?
Nice.
Full blind in his own smoke though. Find shelter from it. And Sight do get control of it.
Bukan why anjing, Adi. Why?
Another 2v4 for Xerxia. Different players alive this time. Sushi Boys with a showstopper.
Not entirely favored.
Gila Xerxia siapa? Setahu gua Foxy.
Hold these angles, a bit of repositioning, playing aggressively right into them. The swing cruise, does he know the second player is there?
Ya Allah, sampai ulti pun nggak kena, cok. Nice. Sabar. Sabar. Ya Allah, si boy, kenapa?
Simply absurd situations. The showstopper didn't do enough damage to get a kill. Frankly, it looked like Sushi Boys was robbed with that one. But then the spray down came through off the back of all of the damage that had been done.
Wah, Sushi Boy lagi nggak kena, cok. Nih ya. Nih, kalau gua jadi dia, gua habis bunuh 2, gua kan pakai Phantom nih. Gua tahan aja di sini, cok. Lu lihat dia panik banget tuh. Dia nembak lari-lari tuh karena dia harus nge-pick. Lu lihat nggak Breeze-nya nembaknya sambil lari-lari karena mau nge-pick angle yang ada wall di depan dia.
Okay, nice guys, but also let's try and play it a bit cleaner next time. This map is
Ente Sushi Boy.
Northeption have got their economy in a situation where they're
Dia lari-lari biar nggak kena headshot anjing. Itu tinggi banget, siapa tuh yang itu ujung tuh? Sand free ya?
strategy.
Tinggi banget layarnya.
And that is being able to threaten extremity control by denying information. I mean, without a cipher on either side, obviously both teams going for the chamber, you need to be helping that chamber get into position. Either by aggressively taking extremity
Ntar Boom main jam berapa? Besok Bang Komarudin. Boom besok main jam 10.
Towards the mid round. That's a lot of what split attack side is about. And it feels like it's missing a little bit here from both of these teams. And in the end, it's coming down to brute force.
Itu monitornya berapa inch? 24.
That's the most fun way that this match could play out. Honestly, it is. It is. So used, honestly, been watching.
Boom, turnamen apa? Ini.
They're slow, they're cautious, and some of the rounds are the way they play it. But sometimes
you need whimsy in your life.
Yeah, you do need that whimsy. I mean, both of these teams just trying to find their spare buckets of whimsy they got lying around, pulling it out every now and then in these rounds. That's going to be the tour de force.
Wah, gending loh.
Gak
enak banget jadi sushi boy kalau lagi nggak kena tuh nggak enak. Kayak sial aja gitu. Fuck, Cruz. Nggak terus ya dari Ali udah bottom frag nyusahin tim anjing, what the fuck. Dia nge-wall mid terus dia turun ke bawah tuh, lihat. Dia nge-wall mid terus dia turun ke bawah, cok. Nyusahin orang. Babi. Udah killnya 2 doang. Mampus lu, kalah lu gara-gara lu dari Ali goblok. Udah ngekillnya 2, nyusahin tim anjing. Mending kalau top frag mah.
And here are these anti-eco rounds failing once more for Northeption. I don't think there was really any need.
Lu lihat dia nge-wall sini tadi, cok. Dia nge-wall sini terus dia turun ke sini anjing, what the fuck. Ban, kenapa Jagib? Halo Bang Nat. Welcome Bang Nat.
Dodging, juking, trying to find.
There's gonna be a safe spot.
Dia kill 2, lolos master, lu kill 30, lolos tidak kawan. Dia mainnya di Jepang anjing, cuman 1 yang bisa main bangsat. Lu lihat. Bangsat. Mari kita lihat killnya dari Ali berapa. Wah, ini sih, itu sih sakit sih. Killnya 3 anjing. Lu mau dok. Tolong dikirimkan dok. Biar dicek dulu dok. Bagus nggak dok? Karena musuh Iko, iya makanya. Iya dok, tolong dikirim dok. Kirim ke personal chat. Biar gua cek dok. Ente. Malas join member. Kirim ke itu gua. Personal chat buru. Ini ban mega file 1 tera mau nggak? Nggak mau kalau jelek. Dana 100k bangsat lu, gua ban lu dari sini lu, ha? Lu kok pelit? Hah? Biar bersatu kita semua tapi lu pelit. Lu gua ban, lu mau? Dok. Mending Mega daripada Dude. Iya, Dude nggak bisa dibuka, tai. Mamat bahaya banget anjing. Heru nggak ada obeng, nggak tahu. Nggak kenal sama Heru. Kalian bullshit bener. Gue buka error mulu tuh Dut tuh, bangsat.
Meteor is finally pushed off the B main angle. Unfortunately for them, A ramp has been locked off. Spotted out there. Satchel to try and break that one with the trademark gone surf. What an angle. It's a one-way in his way. Another one being set up as well. Takes the shot but backs off. His team still biding their time. Obviously a minute on the clock. The one-ways are not too effective when you've got another one staring at you. But Xerxia have taken out
Dok, kirim buru. Buat gue sendiri nih, Dok.
Meteor's on a more passive position. Back all the players are of Northeption. Yeah, Northeption think they could be in B main, they could be in B heaven. The trademark's broken, now the Sage Wall is broken, and Blackwiz has given up his position, wondering if they rotated. The flash sent through. That's Jojo just trying to get something done. Maybe if they make some noise off the back of the flash. He's holding his fault line, and Northeption right now, what a tremendous task they've got because they're start to go in. Rolling Thunders exchanged, stuns wrapping around in the individual members. Susha still just trying to find their footing, but it's scary. And B main takes the fight. Meteor's taken out. Northeption, one player that they just come to rely on so often. No longer here for this engagement. And, oh, Xerxia, so close, surfing this angle with the shorty in play. Takes the shot, swings into it. He's taken out though. Sushi boys still finding it, worried now about being pincered. Tries to take the fight there, but a bit of movement from Zinfree. This could still be workable, especially with the players coming down, but now it's all up to Blackwiz. 66 health, wrapping around the pillar, but it's the double face in the end, and the fundamentals ring true.
Gue bagi satu aja dulu ya. Babi nih Dok nih anjing.
For looking weak domestically on this map, and it simply doesn't work. Xerxia with a very nice defensive side, and we're able to claw things out on their attack half as well, figuring out the answer there as they got deeper and deeper. Is that going to rattle the Japanese side, or do they have what it takes to answer the call, battle back, and avoid being eliminated in last place? So much pressure on these players. Shoulders coming into this one.
Mana kirim dulu, buru satu.
Elimination. Excuse me. You certainly don't want to be immolated. That's something completely different. I assure you, we don't do that. Yeah, it's a great map from Surf, though. I think a lot of the questions.
Langsung kasih 5, no fake. Mari kita lihat.
Who is able to do more for their team? And I think at the end of the day, Meteor.
Mat, gimana caranya, Mat? Gimana cara bukanya, Mat? Dut cacat. Halo Bang Marco Christian, thank you Bang. Share screen. They bought to kick the Reali, yeah. Cohabit better.
Haven being our next map, of course, in this three-map series here, but yeah, I mean, it's certainly heating up. It's back and forth these start.
Welcome Bang Faki. Welcome Bang Faki. Nobar sama Koi Binup, dia nobar sama tim dia. Sabar dong. Bani watching BF. Bahasa lu BF nggak anjing. Gue masak dulu guys, oke? Stay sini. Gua masak dulu. Yang belum ada, yang nggak ada makanan, masak sana. Ayo. Masak, masak. Masak apa? Masak anjing. Ntar gue liatin makanannya.
Certainly could not contain that game into any boxes. That's right, folks. Welcome back to the desk. Golden Boy here alongside Jess and Doug as we break this game down. And look, you know, going into the half, Jess, I'm losing her here. But let's really dive into this, Doug, because I think that it was very clear that, like, you know, hey, North, their saving graces, they were winning their pistols. They were using that to bring them back into the game, which was a huge benefit to them. But it was just like these details, these small details that would sometimes be forgotten about, and they would really crumble under the pressure.
It was chaos. It was just like absolute chaos. You think about how many insane, you think about the 2v4 that was potentially maybe backbreaking. Yeah. Right, that goes in favor of Xerxia. You think about the other one, 2 rounds later, that almost goes the same way, if not for him deciding to take out paint shells instead of a classic. The whole map, I was just looking at the map going, what is happening? What is going on here?
I've never seen you so erratically sort of throwing your arms around on the desk before. There was flailing, there was erraticness on the desk as well. I mean, I also turned to you and I said, if I want 2 players in a 2vx situation, it's going to be Scare and it's going to be Surf. And
they did it.
And they did it. So, you know, it's one of those things where you can kind of tell the scenario upon which you will get, and you can rely on some of these really key players, especially on the side of Xerxia. But then you don't know what's to come in the latter parts of the round as well. There were rounds just going one side or the other. I think it's irresponsible of us to predict going further, because in that map we were confident it was going to be pretty one-sided, and it turned out in the second half too, as you said, flip-flop.
Yeah, it was a huge flip-flop, and I think like part of the reason why was because, you know, well, I mean, it started off great for North Deception. Is this actually leads us to our Verizon high-speed moment of the match, because there was one moment in particular that we all lost our freaking minds, and it was Meteor with the Marshall. QT Marshall would be very happy here. That's a wrestling reference. But yes, look at this here. I mean, and it's what's even more fascinating, Doug, because I know this was your favorite play ever, was that they just were kept, like, it was almost as if they just had no idea where he was. They just weren't really keeping track of where those shots were coming from, but it was beautiful.
And mind you, Meteor did a great job of repositioning, right?
Yeah.
Of forcing Xerxia to have to check every single angle to try to see where he was, but also they fed him. I mean, they fed him a freaking Thanksgiving dinner in that round. It was just, they made it very effortless for him to be able to make that play, and I think, again, the win condition for Northampton needed to be Meteor popping off.
You're right.
He had those moments, but as Josh said, that matchup of Meteor versus Surf, Meteor hit the highlights, right? We're going to see those in the replay
Surf had one of his own, right?
Yeah. But not as many, right? But the point is, it was more fundamentally sound, and ultimately, that's what led to the win.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, and even though Surf, we were all very impressed with his gameplay. I mean, he had that one, I believe it was that one out play where he was up top on Heaven. Just the guy's, like, shots were so crisp, and I said to myself, this is a guy that I want to see for our AIM Lab pre-match shoot-around. That's right. I weave it into the sponsorship segments. But I wanted to see, because Surf, Jess, has been, you know, fundamentally sound, just, you know, playing his role incredibly well, and also diligent with his settings.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's really making sure the settings are good. He turns around, he's like, oh, you guys filming?
That's actually me when I do my...
He's like, all right, watch this.
Yeah.
This is all about precision and speed, obviously accuracy giving you the most points. Yes, big AimLab fan myself. Shout out to Daddy AimLab, of course. But this is one of those kind of areas where you're talking about precision. And interesting that he's chosen this one to do, considering he uses his operator like a shotgun. He probably could have gone with bigger targets.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, the judge parader, rather than the operator for surf. But
we can work on that.
You can go ahead, use your phone, scan for the crosshair there so that you can get Surf's crosshair. It is actually, it's not so much the crosshair, at least for me, but it could be my old eyes. Oh no, it is a little T. All right, that's fine. I thought it was like a flat-out dot. I'm not a dot enjoyer. Doug.
It really, I mean, the glasses are not helping you.
No, they're not at all. This is a new prescription.
I thought it was going to bail you out.
No, it does not.
No, it did not.
It certainly does not. All right, let's go ahead and let's look forward. Let's look forward here because just now we're going to be going to Haven. And it feels like this was more of a Xerxia going, oh, yeah, we know we can go ahead and just take you out on this map.
Yeah, it's interesting because people will look at Xerxia picking this and be like, what? You just lost the FPX on this map. Why would you double down? Why would you go back on there? Probably because if you look at their opponents, the last time they played Haven was on the big stage and it was pretty damn bad. They couldn't throw together a single attacking round. North got absolutely decimated on this map. And when you think Haven and you can't put an attacking round on the board, that's really spells disaster for me. So I think for them, their last showing on this hasn't been good. And I think that's what Xerxia's read into. It was close enough against FPX. They're like, yeah, that's enough for us to ride the coattails on.
Yeah.
Allow me to inject just a tiny bit of copium.
Again? Okay, I'm about to suffocate. I need a mask on this desk, please.
Let's go. Give me the copium.
This is potentially their last map, right? They're they've hit the end here. This very well may be where it ends. So,
where's the copium?
This is where they bust out the chaos. This is where we see a Phoenix,
more
a Yoru.
Oh, you are a madman.
A Reina. I mean, come on.
You are.
Give it to me. Dámelo.
You're just choosing chaos for chaos sake.
Yeah. Some people like to watch the world burn, and that's me.
And some people like to play Phoenix, and that's you.
I really don't.
It's almost like you want them to go out with a bang. But if you're North right now, you don't think you're going out. You think you're bringing this back. You think you're reversing.
I think look. I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna be a positive Patty here. Okay, and I want to see them play this one tough, and maybe they could look at some. Perhaps they weren't really expecting this choice just from
maybe
Xerxia.
Actually.
But you kind of look at the series that they had before against FPX. Like there were moments there that I think Xerxia looked really good. I think they played FPX very hard, very close, and very very hard in that game.
That
being said, I mean, where does North find their win here?
I think a lot of it comes down to mentality. I really do. I think the mechanics and everything in the set plays, they are one-sided right now in this matchup. It is on Xerxia's side. I think Meteor has it in spades, but that's one of the 5 we're talking. It's not a very good ratio that we're looking at. I think if right now, you heard at the end of the map, they said they want to come here and have fun. A lot of the APAC teams come here and want to have fun, and they want to enjoy themselves, and they try and keep the hype up. I think if they come into this map and say, we're not particularly good at it, but let's play as like a wolf pack, let's run around the map together, let's see what we can do as a group, because what we've done thus far is relying on our star player has not worked.
I will say, as much as we've talked about Meteor, Jojo has been an absolute treat to watch.
Yasmin,
He has looked very good, surprisingly so, right? So if there's a world where, we really start to see him set up Meteor to take space, to make more aggressive plays, and, perhaps to sprinkle in a little bit more of that support, perhaps Meteor can get some more room to make plays happen, but I think a lot of stars really have to align here. I'm not going to lie to you.
Ooh, it's tough. It's a tough one. Plus, when we get to the Agents leg, it's going to be a mirror matchup, so they'll know what to expect on either sides of the coin here.
Presumably.
Unless we get the Phoenix, sorry, my apologies. Unless we get the Chaos and the, go out with the bang kind of thing. I also hope that North has done a little bit of homework. I think the diligence is absolutely going to be there. And we've already spoken about Bale, the coach, the other day, and the fact that they've never beaten the likes of DRX in the 6 times in his career of the many teams he's been on.
Yeah.
So he has a statement to make, personally as a coach as well on this stage. they will have had enough time to look over the VOD. But my biggest asterisk in the world of all of this is you're right, Goldenboy. Did they expect the Haven pick?
Yeah.
Given they just lost in it, would they have been prepared for that?
Yeah, I'm genuinely not sure. But here we go. Prime Gaming Agent Select is going to be underway. Let's see what choices are going to be made here. Remember, folks, this is an elimination game. So North loses here, and that is it. Goodbye to our friends from the Japanese region. And the picks are coming through here.
Oh, okay. I don't dislike the Sova.
I'm not mad.
Yeah, I'm not
just disappointed.
Oh, come on. I don't
disappointed.
dislike it.
I like the Astra pick as well. You know, like the Sova, the Astra. I mean,
oh, an Omen?
a lot of resources there for Xerxia. For North on the other side, you know, you get yourself a little bit of the Broman. Always a fan of that.
You know, I prefer Black on the Omen, actually. To be fair, I actually would prefer him on that one. So that one I don't mind. I don't know how you feel about Foxy on the Sova. But maybe Intel for them is like the game that they want to play off of that. Maybe they just want information and they want to act off of it and just absolutely stifle their opponents.
Could be, could be. Well, we're going to have to see how this all plays out. We're set for game 2 between Xerxia and Northeption. So let's send it back over to Brennan Sideshow for some commentary.
Thank you very much, Analyst S Crew. We are heading into it. It is all on the line, isn't it? Elimination match here into Haven and Northeption. I mean, they are on the precipice. They have to rally back here and now.
They do. It's all on the line, and a couple of small changes to the compositions I don't think are going to shift too much. Foxy's played a ton of the Sova in the past. They only shifted to the Sky to play against FPS, and now I think Xerxia are going to be pretty happy going back to their normal composition. 5 seconds as we head into
Nice timing, anjing.
Normally got some interesting stuff that they pull out on these. But you can see Meteor with a very safe position, just watching A short, turret in mid.
Nice timing. Let's go.
Expecting it, aren't they?
Agak lama ya Bani kelarnya. Tolol.
This is going to get them so much information. It's even a star set now for him to work around.
Foxy pakai sofa habis kalah. Habis kalah lah kemarin dia pakai sofa anjing. Balik lagi sofa. Nice banget. Makan guys. Rasanya udah plong lah.
But he finally peaks. Gets the one. Help from the rest of his team as well. Just trying to collide and join forces once more. But eventually, down into this 1v1. If they've got any smokes available to them. But Scary just looking to try and see if he can stick it.
No way.
No shot, man. No way. The bullet's running out. You can't get away with that.
Scary is just nasty good in the clutch.
Oke, Dok.
So
Coba, Dok.
smart at making the right decisions at
Coba,
the
guys.
right
Gue mau
This guy is 20-6 in 1v1s this stage. That is absurdly
mana Dok? Gak bisa Dok, babi lu Dok.
stuff. And starting this out, you've already seen a little bit of Meteor having his impact, going for a really aggressive position on A. Sushi Boys was extremely fast on the flank, and the retake attempt was well timed too. As everyone went back to look at Sushi Boys,
Gak bisa
over
kocak.
the alarm bot. That was when Serve Poke
Bara.
into window.
Beres, 1 menit guys.
Couple of weapons being brought into this round though. Not a major investment. Just enough to get Meteor.
Browser lu kocak. Enggak. Discord gua nggak bisa lihat chat lu. Discord gua nge-lag nih. Internet gua nge-lag kayaknya, Cok. Internet gua nge-lag.
Just running him down, Sushi Boys. Don't want to let him try and escape, and they do eventually take him out. But an attempt at the B plan. Still Nanoswarm set up to try and deny it and push them back. Running into their own smokes. Cruz deals with it.
momentum going from the pistol round to lead them into the bonus and the gun round. They actually played very well against FPX on this map, despite losing in that final map.
Nggak bisa. Bani suara kecil ini kah? Oh, halo Bang Yas. Welcome Bang Yas. Nge-lag ini lihat. Nge-lag gua.
Actually looked pretty coordinated. They had some good ideas, and I think with Fox moving back over to Sova, I think that's just going to be even more comfort territory.
Of course, yeah. The pressure is on for Northampton. We've been mentioning the bar being set, I think, by Zeta Division, the team that a lot of people expected to be here as the Japanese representatives.
And the bar was impossibly high. Nevertheless, that's what Northampton are aiming for. 4-player stack from Xerxia as they look to try and do damage on this bonus round. 4 Spectres and a Marshal.
Up for a pull maybe as well. Yeah, stun into the pull. Nash has to be committed just to try and avoid and escape a lot of it, but Black was moving forwards. He actually TP'd to escape the brunt of all that utility. Not expecting Foxy to just be there as well, but he swings
Black was save mereka.
That is remarkably clean. Sushi Boys has already been spotted. Meteor takes him out. And Northampton simply do not lose these rounds. Even though they got flattened by the ERX, they still won both of the anti-bonuses. And they're at an absurd win rate for them over the course of this stage too.
PPK ini enak Bang.
We lost 3 of them the entire time. I mean, teams simply do not start 3-0 in the half against Northampton.
Lose for them if they were to try and achieve the possible, you know.
You've got to halt the momentum of teams when they get onto a run like this. Got to get confidence back.
Prime game and flawless. Keep all those guns. Rolling into the next one. Turret's going to be set up now just to take contact in case Xerxia decides to be a bit cheeky. Peek from those double doors, but speaking of cheeky, that Surf of an operator will be getting a line-of-sight angle. This fight also breaking out into Garage. Scary's up close and personal. Around the corner, he's dealt with.
Random banget tiba-tiba langsung di flash dog.
Scary making an amazing play, hiding inside that exact same smoke. On an eco round against FPX, this time just trying to challenge it and getting caught out by the flash. What a shot. And honestly, what awareness to be pre-aiming that angle as well. The position from Surf is so unexpected. It's such a monstrously good place to hold.
I mean, just so fast to take the space off of it, isn't he?
He's just alone.
Yep, dashes forwards. None of his teammates really there for him, but using the Cloudburst to try and separate it. Foxy was at the back of the site, but he got taken care of.
PP lah, PP apa, cok.
No way.
Kapan main? Minggu depan kayak Bang.
No way. He's peeking that.
These are the plays that Northampton catch teams off guard with. How can you expect Meteor to just be barreling his way in before the rest of his team, and then Black was TPing into his own smoke? They do. I don't think they know the definition of percentage play. No, but they go for.
Stream gua DC nggak sih? WhatsApp gua juga DC loh. HP gua DC, cok.
Really dependent on form,
and they are some of the most dangerous to go up against as well.
Yeah, if they're having their on day, they can really flatten teams.
Already off to a much better start, I think, for Northampton coming into this map as well. You remember, I mean, Terpercaya, we didn't really mention it as often, but they only finished that map split with 3 kills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aman ya.
Whenever you have new players turning up to a Masters event,
Lu lihat, cok. Nih, ini aja nggak.
Now I think this is an opportunity for Terpercaya to Yeah, exactly. That's an opportunity for Terpercaya to show that was
bisa ya.
Very smart there. Just based off the footsteps. That kill is just
Wah, gila. Gila lu.
Just assumed that he had his crosshair placement there. Precision, but now looks like a starting swing maybe into mid, trying to fight this one. Weapons aren't good for Xerxia on that half by, of course, apart from Sushi Boys who saved that rifle into it.
He's going to slip himself into a one and done over by C Cubby, which isn't an amazing place for the Phantom. He's actually choosing to go for the kill. There's no way he can stick around here now.
Did he expect this? So from the high ground on top of the box, the flash. He tries to hold.
Ngeselin banget anjing garasinya mereka.
Just a raw spam through the wall.
Dari alinya udah kena guys tembaknya guys. Linknya Mamat bagus tuh. Mat, bagi Mat. Nggak ada iklan bisa dibuka di HP, emang iya? Aduh, nggak login Discord. Ntar aja Mat.
Zen is always there with a flash to ensure that anybody holding aggressively in garage is blinded up. And you heard Jess talk about it on the desk a little bit. The last time Northeption played Haven, it was tragic. But that wasn't because Northeption are bad, in my opinion. They went up against Zeta Division, who have an absurdly good Haven. And so I don't think you can really expect Northeption to struggle in the same way.
Sure. Shots being found. Yeah. Spirits seem high as well. Good news for
Sering amat bilang nice-nya kan 2 kali 3 kali aja udah ya.
They have money under their belts now. Meteor with the operator. That is just
Nice.
Sushi Boys again pushed up. But this time Blackwood is there to meet him.
Lu lihat 4C-nya anjing.
No way. Fox, what are you doing? The alarm bots, I mean, just detecting his presence, chasing him down the street. It's still there. It's still there. Shocked hard to get rid of it.
Nggak jelas anjing.
Okay. The alarm bot is finally deceased.
It's gone.
Di Copenhagen nggak cukup sekali 2 kali.
Go back towards C. Now that they've pushed Foxy away from that angle and threatened like they could have crossed, it's back towards C where they found the first pick and removed the Killjoy utility.
And these players are just different, man. Rolling Thunder now.
Ya, scary-nya kena.
Stunned up, just has to back away into Garage Parade and no players swarming from that position, but enough utility just dumped into it to try and Fury. This one, yeah. Lockdown in play, dog into the back. That's actually stunning a bunch of the players, but now the Hunter's Fury comes through. What is occurring here? Lit them up like Christmas trees, but Deriali still finds 2.
Meteor menang nih. Meteor menang nih.
Meteor with the Blade Storm, but the spike is not down. Picks it up, vacating the premises.
Meteor menang nih.
Foxy's watching this. No, he's got the knife out. Thunder's right into him.
And of course Meteor is going to force the kill from Foxy's POV. He's thinking, okay, the guy's going to take the spike, maybe rotate, maybe plant. I've got some time here. But he was still spamming his shock darts, and Meteor is always kill hungry. I cannot believe that Northeption were able to survive that 3-player recon dart scan into Hunter's Fury, with players swinging out backside as well.
It's just ridiculous. Like, look at this as well. And I mean, Fox is just saying, like, he's thinking, dude, what's this guy doing in garage window at this moment of time?
Sering banget dah sih anjing.
That Meteor's able to take.
Biar hype kayaknya.
It's the extra element of just, I mean, raw confidence.
Yes. And trying to find fast timings before his opponent expects it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do see it blow up in his
Kenapa
face.
sih?
But a lot of the times, he's going to be able to catch people sleeping.
Yeah. Just like that.
Xerxia forced to take a tactical timeout here as they reassess what's going on.
Follow kapan bang? Bulan depan. Bang Taufik, amin. Optik menang, Veselot menang Optik kayaknya.
But that play hasn't worked, and Northeption have now read it. So I think Sushi Boys needs to start playing much more defensively. On the other side of things, though, they haven't tried a mid-push. They need to be taking out Deriali's turret every time it's placed in mid-window, because they need to be threatening at least like they could be pushing grass. They're getting way too much value out of that from Deriali. And also, they haven't tried any serious attempt at re-clearing.
Tuling Saveria error. Iya, cok error semua ini.
Sorry.
Hello, yes, hello. Where are you? Okay, I come Discord. Wait. After this round, I come Discord.
With his knives available on the eco round.
Should be 4. Popped him off, but stuns exchanged. There's the fault lines to try and get onto the angles. Meteor needs a bit of damage. Still locking it down just in case one of the players decides to peek their heads right around the corner.
And I like this approach from Northeption. They've taken early A lobby, A short, A long kind of control, and they have a very passive setup from Deriali. Quite difficult to break. Turret far back watching grass. Alarm bot for anybody pushing extremely deep into window. That's a safe setup against the eco round.
Yeah, expecting to push, aren't they?
They certainly are.
The risks that might be taken.
But I think all you need in this round from Northeption is a fake that you're going towards garage or B, and you can re-hit A very easily. It looks like the spike, though. Heading C here, and you might see the opposite, a bit of an A fake and then a hit onto the C site. We'll see what they intend to go for here as they manipulate the defender stats.
I like top.
4 players A, and here comes that fake with the dog, with the smokes, the spike itself going C.
Sense, doesn't it? Yeah, and now the ult as well, which means the
Bagus banget anjing.
But Sushi Boys is now aware.
Nice banget tadi.
Taking a couple of stray bullets.
Doggy smoke.
Means he can't quite contest the plan.
Momennya TP langsung.
Pushing forwards into this one. Lots of shots, doesn't he? And Surfdo coming back in with the Blade Storm. Anything to try and help him out. No, Jojo shuts it down.
Ganti lung baru. Enggak, ini lagi nge-lag. Lu ngeliat. Nih, ini aja connecting to chat cok gua.
He was never making his way through that smoke. Yeah. And Northeption played this round beautifully, I think. The pump of the brakes to see if there was any response from Xerxia, any push, and then a bit of a fake into the C hit. Beautiful macro decision making, great calling as well. Northeption are going to need to keep stacking up these rounds.
Scary just opting obviously to die to the spike here. Spectre doesn't want to save it into it, but ended up falling anyway. So they are firmly in a driving seat now, Josh.
Yeah, there are tools that Northeption can go towards for this round coming up too. Jojo with that plant, and with a couple of kills he was able to secure. Getting pretty close to another Rolling Thunder. Only one away. So could definitely play for the C. Make it look like they're just trying to punish Sushi Boys, going for the push into C cubby, grab the orb, go back in a different direction. Looks like that's what they're going for. You've got Meteor and Jojo over here towards C. The op holding the angle. Breach perhaps gonna risk picking up this orb.
They've just completely given up C.
Hello.
Scary's just gonna be reclearing a bit of that space.
I'm live, yeah.
Surf's also picked up this operator in his hands. He wants
Why open camera? I'm live, yeah.
The problem is so susceptible to one of those pop flashes from Zen.
Not with a teammate to try and back him up and play anti-flash, although now it's being rejoined.
So attached.
Remove the turret. Player close. Was just
3 hari Bang Aiman gua sembuh.
Not too sure. Repeat, reclear.
Seharusnya kalau aim atau kalau mental nggak ada. Lagi nggak kena aja ini, lagi bagus mainnya si ETH.
I'm watching drama now.
Why? Pengen lihat. Pengen lihat.
Sushi Boys is going to use the lockdown. Weird position because it's trying to avoid the aftershock from Jojo, which is still
tetap aja kena kan ya. Kan gede ya.
That looked like a very calculated position to try and avoid it, and yet utterly ineffective.
Yeah, still Meteor as well holding down this line.
Udah Bang Aiman. Gua 3 hari negatif udah. Terus hari keempat, hari kelimanya cuman pilek doang. Nggak, ini bukan Xerxianya yang cacat, Cok. ETH main teronya bagus. Jadi nggak ada hubungannya mental sama ini.
Not even expecting that. He's gonna flash by his own team, but it's still okay. Secures the kills. And it's head-to-head between the Jets. Surf versus Meteor.
It could not be more one-sided.
Look at that stat line.
Meteor's getting supported very well by this double flash comp. It's something that Xerxia struggled to execute a little bit, and they've gone back over to the Sova.
Got to take some risks, haven't you? But the spam
is scary.
Was going down already.
This is the opposite of the play that he made previously with Sushi Boys.
Rally holding close. Meteor's man its way in. Rally does fall. Backing away. Great open.
Iya, makanya Bang Rifki.
They are trying to make something of this half by round. In fact, they have ultimates if they wanted to commit it as well with that rolling thunder. The drone's going to now spot out Meteor. Has to respect that. Has to back away.
And this time Xerxia look like they have a bit of the read. It's going to be quite difficult with only a minute left. But Northeption to go back towards A, except that Jojo's just found the one player holding it. It opens up the map. It splits the defenders. They now have to cover the entirety of this map with only 3 players. And it's free pickings for Northeption.
Yeah, they can really just, at this point now, send it to whatever section of the map they want, as long as they're taking it with bodies. There's no real risk, although Fox is there with a rifle. Gets the one, there's no greed in play, backs away.
That's an amazing play by Foxy. Not only has he found the pick to level this back out 3-3, he's told the rest of Xerxia to rotate.
Rolling Thunder was dragged out of them now. Still Spike, started to get planted. Northeption, they need to hold this one. Trailblazer, the pull, and Anna Swarmal, that utility is just being used, but nobody in the trap. In fact, the reposition. Blackwood's now just sitting at graffiti. Is there going to be a crossfire?
Meteor jago, Cok. Pempeasan. Ini bukan pempek, Cok. Ini dimsum. Tapi digoreng.
really difficult retake for Xerxia. Taking the body, still swinging into it, but again, the crossfire to reposition. Northeption, they had that one under control.
Very clean round, despite the fact that Xerxia found a couple of openings. Yeah. Those 2 kills were actually very important, could have potentially swung things in the opposite direction. And yet Northeption are playing with a lot of discipline here. Very good IGLing. I think their approach has been clean. This is the best that we've seen them play so far. And they're finding their footing, finding their lead, pushing things up.
Bagus banget hero-nya ya.
What a scoreline. The amount of rounds that are winning in a row here. The confidence is so high for Northeption. I mean, Josh, I got a headset on, I can hear you guys screaming. Yeah. Feeling it.
I'm eating.
Meteor's dashing straight into it once more. The stun sets him up, but Sushi Boy's right behind him. That's a trade in play.
I'm watching Artisan now.
Spam, how do you get away with that?
Why?
Still wants to take a boost with a bag. Dariali, that's a bit of run and gun. Listen, I won't fault you for it.
Foxy, just the only player trying to anchor there. Now Cruz is going in before Surf is ready to support as well.
Disjointed.
He's looking for information, trying to tell. Have Northeption left? He spots 2 players down C long, so he's thinking, yeah, they're probably leaving, but at this point, with Cruz
balik lagi aja guys, katanya kecil.
could very easily re-hit C.
Yeah, a minute left. Indecisiveness.
Kus mukanya kayak hier.
At this point,
Makan
the best play for Surf to try
dim
and
sambang.
Absolutely. That's kind of what he's just trying to make the play, isn't it?
Oh, and Zen, insanely diligent, picking up an ult orb to get the Seekers online to check whether Surf is on the site. They've seen Surf kill 3 of them.
Mereka mainnya 3 lawan 1.
It's worth the ult.
Ambil ult dulu, dipakai ultinya.
Worthwhile. You've seen the results that Surf's
Kenapa follow tim NA atau EU?
Don't give him
Nggak cuma di follow doang Bang Primi dari zaman CS:GO.
Yeah, there was no chance, but Northeption put another one up on the board. It feels like Xerxia's defensive flooding into the site is a little mismanaged. Their timing
really out of sync.
They're very out of sync. Their timing on when they want to fight and when they want to back off for the retake just seems a bit out of it, and that's allowing Northeption to trade very effectively out behind Meteor. Even though they're often a long way behind, the spacing isn't perfect. But it's kind of Meteor at the front and then another pack of 4.
Yeah, they eventually catch up. They follow up. And the thing is, Meteor's so good as well that even though he is, pretty separate from the rest of his team with a lot of these big wholesale executes, it doesn't matter. He's usually good for 1.
Yes.
He's usually good for 1. He's usually getting value.
Good for 1. Look at this. He's 12 and 4. He's good for 3.
This guy has just been an absolute demon.
And he is being well supported by the rest of the utility as well. On other maps, it can often feel like he's out on his own on an island. On this round, on this map, he's definitely being supported by these double flashes.
Lucu anjing.
Xerxia are going for some kind of force here. 2 Spectres, light armor on 4 players. Forcing up around the off.
So, wants to hold onto it, but he's smoked off, stunned off. Trapped in the corner here. A bit of random spam. He could find his mark, but Surf is still just disrespecting.
Wow, best wrong. I want to close your stream and then you're calling my Netflix.
It's also difficult to get a read on when Northeption are playing fast rounds and when they're slowing things down.
Stupid you.
Map control very quickly, but then the brakes are pumped. So Surf doesn't quite know whether there's still people
right
here.
now. Goodbye.
Flashing there, the jingle into the elbow. That's going to be the kill. On draft, you have made yourself.
Bye-bye, yeah.
Quite the floating target. Cruz though wants to try and return a bit of fire. They're rolling thunder. It's a good connection onto the 2 stunned up. Meteor still with that Blaze Storm in play. Trying to pincer him. You can see the Northeption players just trying to make the most of it as they rotate and wrap around short. But it's dealt with easily enough.
It's a great punish from Cruz. He's still taking this fight against Meteor over by A long. Just dumping utility in. Trying to keep these players back.
I want to eat McDonald's breakfast.
30 seconds left.
Kau habis so fat already. Pedes banget. Nggak pedes banget sih. Tapi pedes. Gue nggak terlalu tahan pedes soalnya.
Now they know where he is. Last player standing, tried to whip it out with the shorty, but
Akankah map 3 bisa.
First one in quite some time.
It has been a long time coming. They got the pistol, the follow-up, and then Northeption have simply been on a run. it started somewhat similar to this against DRX. They got round 3 and there was 4 rounds in a row and then it fell to pieces. Yeah. But this is what Northeption can do. Snowball the momentum, get things going. The confidence starts to flow. And even if Xerxia pick up the next round as well to make this an 8-4 half, it's still a fantastic map 2. At least the beginning of it for Northeption, for the Japanese squad.
We mentioned these expectations, but right now they are living up to it. Almost a similar tale to what happened with Zeta Division, but here we go. Aggression is the name of the game. Meteor already deep playing with Indy. Smokes Stereali though is going to be the first to go down. The first kill for Sushi Boys. Answers it for them. Did they expect him to be in this position? Meteor's going to clear this corner. He knows it, but the alarm bot's in play. And there we go. 3 kills in a round.
Run and gun Phantom boss.
Great setup for them.
They've seen Northeption pushing.
Iya Bang Scam emang jago. Dari dulu emang bantai-bantai Indo. Bener.
And Jojo picks off. These players picks off a second as well. And suddenly this round extremely winnable. Back into a 2v2.
Gila. Langsung nahan sih itu dia. Pinter banget. Masih kalah tapi.
Spike drop down. Always Q back. Blackwiz knows it's here. Obviously knows that Foxy's playing up close. Still getting tagged like that is unfortunate. Choosing to just ego to Recon. Take the fight individually, but 4 rounds will be what Xerxia get. Still, Northeption. Crazy amounts of momentum that they've got coming into this second half now. Fantastic approach after that pretty lackluster ending to the split game. We'll go to a short break, obviously, as well as we see what our analyst desk has to say about this first half that's currently being witnessed between these 2 teams.
Nggak ada yang mendunia gitu di CS.
Alright, well, it seems like history repeats itself, but on the other side here, because it's going to be North.
Susah jelasinnya kalau Bang, kalau apa yang diomonginnya playernya Bang Sumpit. Saya kalau kalah pulang, iya ya. Siapapun kalah ini pulang. Pernah Bang Dandi.
Put together on Haven, and we're starting to see those fundamentals, the control of the game really playing through.
All I said before this map started was that I wanted them to work as a unit, run around as a pack.
Yes.
And the man on your screen right now, he's the kind of glue that's sticking everyone together. Yeah, he's got the nice sort of outside of Meteor of it. He's the one that's inside holding everyone together on it. I don't know how many
Angel first death 16 anjing.
Kills in our face.
Yeah.
And I thought Meteor was the very impressive one. Well, now that Meteor's getting in and they're not so far behind him, that has cleaned up the act that is North.
That's so good.
Ini yang tim Soldam ya, bekas tim Soldam.
So far it's not too bad.
Yeah, I think Jojo is that dude.
Soldam what? Soldam.
We talked about him at the beginning of the map.
Why you talk shit about him, huh?
I also think Xerxia have
because he live under wings.
This has not been a clean map out of them. Even you think about that replay package we just saw.
No lah, Soldam teammate was bad. This team better.
But he's not there anymore.
Such a great job, Doug, of like controlling the pace
Not
so much
anymore.
that, like,
Not
up jabs because he thinks
Okay.
and they're there.
Not
The pack's there, bro.
Yeah, they give him
Pack's
nothing.
there.
It's really been impressive
don't
to
know
watch
why.
Northeption dismantle.
They believe in the reverse sweep. They believe in it.
Do you
and
believe
they're
in it,
living
Doug?
it.
I'd feel much more confident if it was 9-3 half.
Yes,
I think
I agree.
8-4 an attacking half.
Tanya ko Abi kenapa sekarang jarang on cam kalau live?
Right, but you're not out of the
They gotta
woodworks
win
yet.
pistol, they gotta win second. then
Why you never on cam when you live?
What does Xerxia
attack
Because I'm angry.
their leg up. It's in their favor to bring it back.
Okay guys, that's answer all.
And also, by the way, I need to find out where that keyboard is from because I need it. Anyway, that's going to do it for us here. Lots of
Foxy
questions, and
keyboard.
thankfully we are going to have some
know it.
answers. And 2 guys who love giving us answers. It's Brent and
So
Sideshow.
unique.
Brent, give me all the answers
so
right
cute.
now.
Cat.
Yeah, I'll certainly try, Golden Boy. Also appreciate you as well not calling out my atrocious throw to you as well at the beginning of that one, that halftime section. A real G.
I want to look in this half at whether Surf can bounce back. 3-9 right now. Wasn't able to get anything going on the defense side, even when he was opping, which has been a particularly high point for him in this tournament. Can they coordinate, even though they're not running the double flash comp, and start delivering him the entry kills, the favored advantage situations that they need to crack into these sites?
Slow beginning to this pistol round.
Both of these teams love to push on defense, so you're going to see a lot of slow attack halves, I think, and then big site executes.
It's the name of the game. They have got control of that A-long.
By the way, Meteor's got a shorty.
Yeah.
Just something to keep your eye on.
Just trying to play around the smokes as well, maybe anticipating that could be a play be made. The half-armor shorty buy, I mean, I respect it.
Look at the smoke as well from Blackwiz. It's not deep into A short. It was pluming out into
just
the
out
site.
in the open.
Yeah, so that Meteor could get inside of it preferentially.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be here when this site hit comes through. It's so
Gue heran sih Kurs kenapa selalu beli itu ya. Beli bazooka ya. Pistoran selalu beli bazooka lah dia lah.
All up to Zen to see if he can collect a couple of more kills there. Only the one though. Out of sight controlled. Zersh going to be able to get this spike down. You can see already heaven control being taken by Northeption.
Here comes that flank again. A repeat of what happened in our first pistol round as the Killjoys do battle.
Up close and personal at this slide off angle. A bit of baiting for it. I think the Sushi Boys dealt with Northeption. They're finding so many more off the back of it. Fox though, a quick 180. Okay. Gets the kill. Fox is dealt with.
And it's just a repeat of the pistol. It's the same kind of strategy. Fast flank from the Killjoy. As soon as the Killjoy distracts those players playing in short or long, the players at CT and Heaven swoop in.
Yeah.
And you can only catch half of it on cam because the fights are happening in such different areas of the map. But Jojo hits some gorgeous dose shots.
Unbelievable. Very early having an absolute
Nice Jojo.
lead in the scoreboards for his teams. Look at this.
It is a massive resurgence after he only got 3 kills on split. Yeah.
Cuman player major yang tahu.
And it seems to be the added element. The
Aneh anjing.
they needed because they were in
Dari kemarin gue liatin kenapa ya.
Forces Zersh now into the buy.
Why is he not winning it?
Because you watching ya.
I'm not watching. I'm watching Grandma.
Just about eventually will fall, but look at the spray.
What the fuck is this book?
Cacophony of bullets just being rained across the site. Actually breaking forward, but there is once more.
Door.
Relentless efforts. Meteor just dashes into it.
Oh
This
shit.
is a style of gameplay that I don't know how to cast. Their timings are off. The players are all over the place. Meteor just taking the
Gago.
fight.
He has a shorty round 1, a judge round 2, and he survives with 2 HP. He is just running into bullets.
It's absurd. It's
Nice.
absurd.
This guy's so hype, eh.
Getting turned into Swiss cheese.
I just can't predict what's going to happen next.
This guy's so hype.
Every single twist and turn
That
of
is
these rounds.
just amazing.
I like to have this kind of teammate.
He's taking the judge over towards Garage as well. Xerxia on their last legs here, picking up sheriffs. Oh, Meteor's just demonic. He can hear the ball running up in.
With a jump, you just don't. And a swarm and popped off in response to it. And Zen, the Guardian, straight through the wall. Heads being found, of course. Shots to the cranium. The weapons are not good.
Oh
Meteor's
my
just
God.
styling on him, man.
I love it. This is Northeption back to where they were in that domestic final against Zeta, throwing caution to the wind and believing in themselves. This is the kind of map you need to have at an international event to realize that you can still do this stuff to the best teams in the world.
Still hold a candle to them.
They're not on a different level.
Jokes Joe ini yang paling nggak pernah teriak loh.
Just 2 maps, you can bring it back now, and it's the
Rizky
timeouts
kan
as
hype
well.
banget, Ban.
Josh, I can see all the
Iya, Rizky lumayan.
minimap, and I'm still struggling.
Ban kayaknya tetap Xerxia ya, Ban.
Obviously, Xerxia are going to have their first
Kurang tahu sih.
real rifles on
Gua nggak tahu NTH mainnya gimana.
against this quasi-buy from
Halo Kezia.
where they're just trying to carry the bonus on. They're going to be up against some close-range fights. And you know that Northeption are going to try and create chaos with smokes. A Meteor can throw them out all over the place. Blackwiz is going to be using them left, right, and center. They're going to deliberately try and drag Xerxia into the mud and wrestle him to the ground. And I think for Xerxia, it's going to be really hard.
I'm
to try and keep
hungry.
composed and impose
Go Happy,
some sort of
go cook right now.
Kami doon noodle.
entropy
Go Happy, go in noodle right now.
That's
Yawan,
Northeption's
kami
game plan.
yawan.
Winning that bonus, moving forwards. Meteor's still keeping the judge, by the way.
Udah game 2 ya.
Oh yeah. Judge,
family
Guardian.
heirloom at this point. Wants to carry it into the next map, I think.
What the fuck for?
It would be a fool's errand to go into Garage without a good game plan. The question is, where do you go on this map?
There's a quad push into lobby, I think. Yeah. Players set up for it. Northampton obviously taking a lot of space, a lot of utility exchange. Bit of running now though from Xerxes. They look like they're ready to set up, but
Early 1 nih Meteor dapat nih, early 1. Whip. Watch me whip. Watch me nene. Better serve Patipan serve.
Close range battles. Okay. Is Dariali again winning so many more duels than he was on Split?
They're reclearing this one now. I like this from Xerxes, but the paranoia is beautiful. So many players just left wondering what exactly is going on. And Zen answers back.
Anjing bisa kalah, cok. What the fuck?
Cleans up the kills. It's all up to Surf.
Senfree maju duluan, Senfree. Lu low.
Of Platty knows where one of them is, but where could Jojo be? Time running low, the Trailblazer just to see if they can get some information, but surely you can't
flash.
Gets spotted, he finds the one, dodges it, tries to drift to the side, but still ticking.
I don't
Nggak
think
dapet.
he's got it.
Nggak dapet.
It's a margin of milliseconds.
Nggak dapet.
So close.
Nggak dapet.
I'm just running out. And Surf
Kalau gue jadi timnya Senfree, gue suruh lari aja dia anjing. Cari info.
When I saw the Trailblazer, when I saw the dogs just going for a little jog, just up and down the park.
Suara Cisnya gak bisa gedean. Kalau gedean gue gak bisa dengerin yang lain anjing. Kezio udah punya pacar Adiswan, tolol.
Such a messy buy as well. Northampton are keeping their economy suppressed.
The play seems to be just go out again.
Ras C terus bos.
Dash straight up into your own cloudburster.
Ya Allah, flashnya si Cruz. Flashnya Cruz butain si Surf.
Foxy desperate to help the rest of his team, but already the rotation there. A flick of the wrist, the BT and his
Gila, Meteor sih gila sih. Meteor sih gila sih, sumpah.
What a beast he is.
Gila sih Meteor sih.
The flick, the spray control.
Lagi spray kelurus, dibanting langsung mati nggak tuh orang?
Beginning of that round, it was Northampton trying to apply the pressure with a flash and dash play out of Garage. Look at Surf here, full blinded, I think by his own team.
Yeah, it seems like it.
As he went for the dash up draft play on top of the default. And it's a nice timing from Scary. I wish they double faced it with Scary and Sushi Boys.
Hello, what happened?
Why am I hungry?
I love it.
What you say? And then what? What you say? Bunny job to feeding Kohabi? Why Bunny need to feeding Kohabi? Kohabi can cooking. What Kohabi know what to do? And sleeping. Jagoan gua lah Bang Bernard, amin.
The aggression, the flash, there was a play being made. The aftershock up top, but even an ult of their own. Northampton need to end this one here, and now the Cosmic Divide, dodging, juking, sidestepping in between. It's all up to Fox. Left alone, can he do it? The reset 1-2 has to reload. Time is on his side. What a performance! Pulls out the ace and he keeps them in the map.
You could not have found a more important time for Xerxes, for Fox to find that round. The weaponry was appalling, but he goes back, he deals with the flank. He uses
Satu lawan tiga, Cok.
a little bit of bait as the breach shell comes through.
Ini.
V3 at the end, cleaning up those players who I've got to assume were already celebrating.
Seems that way, doesn't it? And what an investment from either side, honestly, into this one, but you could feel Northampton, they wanted to try and deal with this. Here and now in that round, that's a pull to try and punish this one. Do they know Demetrius playing up into this angle to stun? He just plays into it, Scary. Not a clue, really. No teammates to help him back him up on top of the bricks, making noise. Cruz just a quick 180 and deals with him, I guess.
Oh, she's not using this map, man.
Still watching. If they go for a contact push in, Jojo just
Oh shit.
the angle. And now these Xerxia players are so
The
deep.
timing.
Deriali must have communicated this to the rest of his team.
No
Guys,
way.
my turret is down. They could be through.
No way. Just none the wiser.
Wow,
Jojo
Foxy.
tried to take care of it, but just too late.
And Serve cleans up Deriali, who has let the enemy through the gates there. It's not necessarily the bad individual decision to go for the push as the killjoy, but it is pretty rough that Northeption didn't plug the hole.
Look of the kid.
For a while, but there was some level of distraction over towards the A side.
Pintar banget nih si Cruz langsung lihat belakang.
That just pulled all the players away.
Distraction, or it wasn't comp that his util was down, the turret was down.
Very good shot.
They just it felt like they
Kang Fauzi jago banget.
You have to give up.
Surf scary.
You have to abandon Meteor, play
Wake up, bro.
make sure that B is secure. And now, Northeption take a timeout, a breather. Because listen, this isn't done.
necessary, isn't it?
When you're playing against the best teams in the world, you have to be able to close them out. Sometimes these final rounds are some of the most difficult.
One round you can need, and you can feel it. It's so close.
But they have a massive cushion. This would be an absurd fumble if Northeption were not able to close the match.
Seharusnya menolak game 3. Nggak ada yang mau. Karena game 3 udah reset semua. Game 3 tuh udah reset semua. Siapapun bisa menang jadinya.
But they've squandered a couple already. And that makes me a little bit concerned. Northeption were winning very heavily. They were on a streak. And it's always easy to win more rounds when you've already been winning. Everyone's confident. The comms are flowing. The belief is there. But when you take a stumble, how do you respond? When you make a mistake, how do you fix it? Can you bounce back? Northeption were unable to do that.
Yeah.
with RX. They've got to be able to do it.
How you know? Not yet, yeah.
Plenty of rounds to work with.
Yeah, the buffer is there, and the timeout, of course. And Coach Bale probably just saying to them, guys, you know, bit of a breather. Calm it down. We'll come up with something with plenty of rounds to work with. A stun and a deep smoke, just try and push away these Xerxia players who are really just disrespecting all of that utility that was sent flying. Say long control going to be gained.
There is a gamble.
What do you think of Sentinel and Rooster?
It's the most expected
No comment.
area for a rifle round, you know, an anti-eco round to be
No
going.
comment, bro.
Xerxia, they haven't seen a single player peek. Not a single piece of utility after the full fight. And so they might be starting to smell a rat here.
You better stop it, Abigail. It's not funny at all, Abigail.
They want to try and get some information, maybe just contacting in, a jiggle, but so far nothing being gained.
And as this drone comes up short,
Dengan slot di sana masih no comment. Gara-gara slot di sana gua no comment. Karena gua nggak tahu slot sejago apa, cok. Ya dia dulu jago, tapi di Valorant dia udah lama nggak ikut kompetitif. Terus ditarik ke tim pro, gue nggak tahu. Iya, streamer jago ya. Scary.
Comes another opportunity for Northeption to put the map away. Can't wait for Surf to warm up. That would be extremely dangerous. Like I said, Zen got his ult online here just with the death. He was only one orb point away. So as he dies there as the final player left around, the Seekers come online. Could be a crucial tool that they have access to.
Anything to close out the round.
Surf, wake up, Surf. 4 more rounds, Surf.
We haven't seen many of these this map, but this is a Meteor special.
Making sure it's being covered as well. The spam into the wall. Bullets raining down. Fox brought down.
Bangun tuh kan doi, iya. Bagus. Surf, bangun, Surf. Emang CSGO slot biar aja jago, anjing.
Flashes just sent through. Now the Seekers on top of it, and Xerxia just weathering the storm, aren't they? Waiting out utility, making sure they deal with it, but not Meteor. There's no waiting around for this guy. Ansi, the playmaker.
He follows every piece of utility. The flash, the seekers, the dog.
And this could just be it. The final nail in the coffin for this map with 2 players going down. Surf and Sushi Boys removed. Has to be it. Right here, right now. A deeper smoke for Zerza to try and find their way in. There are no one like that. One fell swoop. They clean them up. And they're going to be taking Haven here.
An enormous map win for Northeption.
Coba ya, kita lihat. Sersia ban Asen. Ya kayaknya Sersia menang deh. Iya kayaknya. Tapi dia menang lawan Zeta, cok.
Only 3 kills to being almost at the top of his scoreboard with 20 and 13 from your Killjoy player on Haven. Monumental.
More first bloods as well than his star player that he was working alongside, but he did bring it back. And it proved to be a difference maker for him. Absolutely insane stuff. And just re-watching as well this Haven performance really will give them the confidence, I think, coming into this 3rd and final map. A reminder, this is an elimination game between...
Gila bisa begitu dah, dia nembaknya tai.
A lot of this highlight reel for Northeption is shutting down Surf. He had a rough game, 6 and 16 towards the end of it.
Zeta kan emang kurang mainnya. Emang iya. Kagak, cok.
Quite a lot as we head into bind. Surf supposed to be going back over the chamber there. An opportunity to reset the mental.
I mean, this series, I love it.
It's been
Alah lu tuh 79% anjing.
The ups and downs of it. Keeping the confidence flowing, making sure
13-6 optik. Kalahnya lawan tim Europe doang tuh. Susah sih. Nggak tahu, susah. Ya. What you say?
Hungry quietly.
So you want to eat?
Yeah.
What you want?
McDonald's. But don't have open.
And then why you tell me you want McDonald's when don't have open? Huh?
Open already. Go see right now. What's there? See right now. Faster, see right now. Webcam, McDonald's website.
I go to Grab.
Go. No Grab.
Why no Grab?
Grab course.
Really?
McDonald's website. I will buy your milk.
No, Bukit Gombak, right? Can.
Oh, you can really? Why Melon don't have?
Oh my god.
Go and bring 1 buttermilk. Buttermilk.
Okay. Buttermilk.
No vegetable.
What? Remove grilled pineapple.
No.
Remove lettuce and cabbage slaw, right?
Yeah. I want pineapple.
Remove grilled pineapple too.
No.
What drink is that?
So I'm drinking grapefruit, milkfish, or Milo.
Okay, Milo. Anjing kalau bisa ngerti Anak yatim di GH. Sabar anak yatim di GH. Ntar ya.
Ice cream or banana pie?
You want more, yeah?
Ice cream or banana pie?
Up to you, what you want?
I don't know, yeah.
What you want?
I don't know, yeah.
Okay. I think ice cream. What is ice cream?
Ovaltine or hot fudge?
Okay, don't ask. I order for you.
Fudge or Ovaltine? Wow.
My God, $20.
Happy right now.
$20. Die right now.
Happy right now.
Oh my God, die right now.
Donate, please, guys. Donate. Abang big tiger.
Oh my God, die right now. $20. $6 delivery. Die right now.
No, yeah, bye you, yeah. I
Oh
have
wait, atau yung
revive
kako aja baru aku
already.
ikhlas. Nanti bangsat.
Will.
Okay, it coming in 30 minutes.
Okay, yeah, tell me when you go here. Thank you, yeah. Thank you, yeah. Terima kasih, yeah.
Okay ya, sama-sama.
Yeah, he struggled. He struggled really across every aspect. It never really felt like he had his momentum. It never really felt like he found his footing. And you're right, when you have a star duelist on the other side who's
Mantap banget emang player paling ganteng.
yeah,
Tolol. Bang Heru. Baca WA dah. Bang Heru, baca WA.
Still buckets of whimsy, as the guys like to say. You think about the shorty, and there was a judge round 2, and the guy was like jumping out of the smokes.
But he looked like he knew what he wanted to achieve with it.
Oh yeah,
like
he always
each and every
knows.
time. I was like, this looks like it shouldn't work, but you're not moving so
Ito, we can watching YouTube ya.
Banasgor pakai telur 1. WA lu kerjaan gua. Gua nanya, bangsat.
There's another story about the next map and that they've done even worse on Bind.
Well, so this is the thing, because now we are going into Bind, and history here should be in the back of your mind. This was a 13-1 romp that Northeption had to deal with. They ended up running, I think, it was against the RX. They just got completely outclassed here, Doug. And I see Bind in this list after what happened in day 1, and I'm very concerned about Northeption. I'm feeling pretty good about Sersha given how they played this map.
Yeah, I think a 1-13 loss is immediately.
Mak gua tuh ribet anjing, suka megang-megangin barang gua.
I expect to see some changes. It's unfortunate. I would love to see them continue to lean into the neon for Meteor. The guy's playing with confidence. Continue to let him loose, let him do his thing. But I think ultimately, unfortunately, will not likely go that way.
It's not going to be like the changes they made on the second map there. Why, if it worked so well, why would you then go back to, if it ain't broke, don't fix? It's all of these kind of temperamental sayings that we have on the decks. But I think overall, I don't want it to be the kind of thing that let's say they lose this series and they're knocked out as a result, and they said they wanted to come into an international environment and learn. I mean, especially when you make your debut, you're hoping to learn from the international environment. I'm hoping they are not just going, well, this is what works, we're just going to put it together and hope for the best. You don't learn much from that, because when you get back to the regional, you go back to the neon, let's say, and then you haven't learned anything from what works and what doesn't. So it's a 50-50 here. It's a double-edged sword. I really don't know which way to take it from them. I like that they stay with the Jet, but it seems like a bit of a crutch at that point if you're just constantly changing all of your
not like what they went through in their game against DRX. I mean, even like looking at, you know, some of the stats there, I mean, DRX maintained Meteor to a 6-13, right? Like he was just completely neutered, no options for him, Doug. But to your point, if you go with the Jet, there could potentially be other issues there. Like maybe the composition doesn't necessarily work. Like
plugging the holes, yeah.
And it kind of goes back to what I said earlier, right? Like you make a change like that, and you go, "Was I the reason that we lost that?" And when you lose 1-13 on a map, there's not one reason why you lost.
No.
All right, well here we go. Prime Gaming Age.
Udah dari sana aja gua masih diribetin.
Both of these teams are gonna lock in. You can see what Northeption went with.
Goblok, goblok.
Maybe we end up getting that again, but in fact, actually, we're already
Ada, Cok.
getting a change here because they're busting out the
Udah gua puter-puterin kemarin nggak ada.
Oh, you remember you said go out with a bang? You remember you said that? Yeah, I think they meant on this map is where they were going to bring it. No Phoenix, but I tell you what, they're going out with a bang.
And it's a mirror bang too.
Nggak ada.
Xerxes exact same
Tai.
mirror bang. A lot of changes coming through here.
Kok gua lapar?
Ayo.
Kalau lapar makan Adi. Kok perlu udah gua cek nggak ada. Ya, halo.
Abi waiting for minionnya.
You just waited like 5 minutes only ya. I said 30 minutes ya.
I'm coming back later ya.
Oke. Udah.
Let's get to it here. Map 3 in our first elimination match of Copenhagen between both of these teams. It's been back and forth, Josh. North America did not prepare me for this. The tempo, the style that these teams are playing, they have thrown a wrench into the plans of each other and also my mind at times. It has just
Dompet
been
nggak ada, transpek nggak ada. Udah gua cek semua. 2 hari yang lalu udah gua cari ke kotak sampah. Ban ada moderator lagi chat asik sama Elena, siapa?
The question is how much experience do they have at this?
What?
Meteor swings out, manages to work off the damage that his teammates did. Look how weird this position is for Fox. He's on the B site.
And the spike is starting to get planted.
Xerxes have control of both of the sites, but
they're already behind
the map.
Yeah, they're already behind them right now into short. Reali holding up onto the smokes now, wants to drop some of them down. Ensuring that no players just hiding closed inside of it.
And this trademark makes sure that Cruz and
Another
Scary
reflank,
still
by the
have
way.
their post-plant positions.
Scary's just trying to retake control of the positioning! The fight being found, but Scary comes out on top. Reali now just trying to swarm onto the site, take a bit of space, but that's Zen. He's got the movement, got the ghost in his hands, not a lot of life to work with, but he still might be able to do enough damage. The Brim Molly, it's going to do decent amounts of work, just buying time off the clock, but the peak is there, and there
Nice.
we have it. Xerxes winning that pistol round.
Really nice. I think a key focus for Xerxes
Siapa
in
Owen?
the attack half is going to be Cruz and Scary. They play
Si Owen.
really passive
Adi.
after the plant has been
Ya
secured
udah rip.
because they're looking to use the snake bite
Masa rip
early and just
anjing?
play for the clutch. On the other side of things, we do not know what to expect from Northeption. I have watched Meteor play Chamber. I thought his Jet looked quite a bit better, but his current form of what he was able to showcase on Haven, if he's able to take that over into Buying, this could be a big win condition in the head-to-head against Surf.
That's what they're looking for. It's a lot more difficult though if you're used to playing that Jet because it offers you more freedoms.
Well,
And there's the head-to-head.
Ada!
He's not
Di kotak sampah di kamar gua.
more
He's
space
got a
to be
point to
taken.
prove.
Alhamdulillah.
6 and 16 with double-digit
Gua nyari kotak sampah luar, kotak sampah bawah, cok. Tuh kan bener kan?
A match him in it. Had no time to react. Bullets sent flying right into showers, but only one player remaining. Deriali. And yeah, Classic's not going to be able to do much from that range.
Northeption are normally great in these next upcoming rounds, the anti-bonus, but we really don't know
Goblok. Goblok, goblok, goblok.
game plan overall.
How much time have they really had?
It's a very basic.
Udah, kirim ke
There's
lu.
a lot of teams that run it, so I'm sure they're familiar with it to some degree, into watching other teams, playing against other teams that run this kind of stuff. But their bread and butter has been the Neon recently.
Yeah, leaning into it for binds, but I mean, it got absolutely
Halo Jagip, welcome Jagip.
13 and 1 makes people rethink certain lines.
Anjing dompet dibong-bong, bukan dompet, cok. Ini nih.
Flash early on into sewers, and Meteor's taken the
Bukti
TP.
pembayaran bagasi.
Use his rendezvous to get
Anjay, Owen beda server, Won. Beda server, Won. Kalau aku sih main di warnet di game Paradise. Si Adi Swan ini sirik banget. Wan, beda server, Wan. Gua saranin aja nih, Wan, sebagai orang yang menjalankan yang beda server juga, Wan. Si Gincer tuh gua. Wan, gua saranin aja, Wan. Gua udah 2 tahun beda server, Wan. Black Wish. Sarannya apa tuh? Sarannya kesan dan pesannya gimana? Mantap lah pokoknya. Udah LDR beda server. Tolol banget anjing. Kesan dan pesannya Discord aja, Wan.
Burst the bullet sent through just to see if they can gather a bit of control of it. The Boombot spots a player close. Meteor have to opt to reposition. Instead he just looks to try and take a fight a bit further forwards. This is just.
Tapi gak apa-apa sih, Wan, kalau mau pacaran doang, Wan. Owen suka Cina, Owen. Kamu Cina. Kamu Cina, right? How can you know? How can kamu know? Kamu China. Kamu small eye ya? Oh, oke. I can see that too. Lu juga demen Cina. Beli Cina Singapura apa Palembang? Cina Singapura cantik-cantik, Wan, sumpah nggak bohong gua. Cindo jauh sama bukan jauh. Cindo kalah sama Cina Singapura, Wan. Kapan-kapan ajak dia main biliar. Emang ya Adi tahu banget kenapa lu aja yang kenapa lu aja yang nggak ngajak dia. Apa sih? Sabar, otak gua nge-lag. Kenapa nggak lu aja yang ngajak dia main biliar? Tolol. Malu-maluin. Malam Jopi. Kenapa nggak lu aja ya? Aduh. Malu-maluin. Aduh ya Allah. Kenapa nggak lu aja yang ngajak dia main biliar maksudnya? Otak gua nge-lag tadi, ngantuk. Gila, tolongannya. Mantap. Satchel dong,
no players really to just stop him in his tracks. Okay, Cruz.
That's a nice lineup from.
Kenapa nggak lu aja yang
Long way away throwing those snake bites. The spike still gets planted.
Kenapa lu aja yang ngajak nggak? Dia bangsat. Gue capek nih, banyak pikiran nih. Aduh, tidur habis ini. Kenapa aja yang lu ngajak gak? Diam anjing! Kenapa aja lu gak ngajaknya? It's on the way ya.
Very interesting one. The Northampton timeout. Yeah. They're taking this off the back of winning our round. I mean, maybe you're already queued, expecting the B retake.
At Lianhua Primary School, Hillview. Then why you asking if you don't know?
When you have players that the opponents respect, they are given more room to clutch. That's why good clutch players end up clutching even more than they should.
Awe gue nggak jadi nih. Ntar anjing di Jakarta, sumpah. Nggak sekarang. No, stop it ya. I never ya.
Necessarily the way that he was playing.
Oh no, we know he can aim.
Oh yeah,
we know he can aim.
Well, he's pretty smart as well. He occasionally gets into situations where he's going to overstep himself and get a bit frag hungry. But if you put him into a clutch or a site exec, something like that, he's going to make the right decision a lot of the time.
And in case you're wondering what's going on, I believe this back-to-back timeouts been taken.
Yeah.
Zersha also just queued up the timeout.
Tactical timeouts. There's no tech problem as far as we're aware. They're just making sure that they have the right strategy.
Enggak, gue janji, sumpah. Gue janji nih, gue bilang gue janji, bangsat. Gue janji, ntar gue beliin tempe sama, gue beliin itu. Tiga lagi.
Extra time to simmer and think about it.
Yeah. And this is a crucial round coming up. It may only be round 6.
Awe gue kaku Starbucks make di lu gua pukul bangsat. Kabar.
Economic swing round as well. When we get back into the game, take a look at the economy there. If one team's able to get the edge, they're going to start snowballing, get into a better position, and ask some questions of whether or not you want to force buy. On the other side of things, there's a couple of players with they're kind of scrimping and saving to put a buy together.
Yeah. Maybe approach here from Northampton. Flash straight deep into Fountain for information and look at that judge in the hands of Blackwiz. Seen some, just absolutely ludicrous plays, haven't we, with these shotguns?
Blackwiz doesn't quite have the movement abilities, though, that Meteor had access to on Haven.
Yeah. I think Zersha as well, they seem very aware in terms of the old Torps might be being played by Northampton. Just holding outside showers, making sure that they can slowly pressure Hookah. Black was forced to use his own snake bite, but it actually cut across. I think it rebounded close to him.
They're trying to put this pressure over towards B. Keep 3 players there, while slowly, cautiously taking showers control.
Oh boy.
You can see this is going to end A. The question is, do Northampton get the read? And now that things slow down...
Oh iya, bagus wallnya, Cok. Kalau dinaikin ini nggak kelihatan sama sekali dia. Ya Allah, nggak dinaikin wallnya, Cok.
Up to the side, doesn't find his mark, but now the smoke's dropped down and the players are swarming onto the site. Zersha just trying to make the most of it, only 30 seconds left into the round. There Ali playing inside, one of his own in a team. Oh, Northampton. Ready, prime game and flawless. Money can start to get...
Nggak dinaikin wallnya.
They had the read so early and so perfectly on where that was going to end.
Ini Meteor mau pakai agent apa aja, kalau jago mah jago aja, Cok. Lu lihat.
They needed hookah control. They needed to make
27
sure
aja tuh orang.
Sky utility didn't get information. You can see on the minimap here as they're taking the fight, there are 4 Northeption players waiting, holding for each other. There's not a single angle left unchecked as Xerxia try and muscle their way into the site. And I said there were going to be questions asked. Do you want to force in this round? And Xerxia have decided yes. We're going to force with a Guardian, with a Headhunter, and they lose a player immediately.
It's a double swing at different elevation. It might work if the players can get the timing right, but just not quite this time.
Banyak tapi tetap nge-frag. Amin. Tapi belakangan ini kayu lu redep. Gua nggak pernah pakai kayu lagi, Cok. Kapan-kapan gua pakai kayu coba? Gua pakai kayu di udah diambil Dustin semua kan kayu gua. Gua pakai kayu cuma 1 map, Cok. Di Breeze kemarin. Baju ini versi glow up, tai. Nice. Di Breeze doang, iya, di Breeze doang 1. Berarti nanti si Hero yang pakai kayu, iya.
Could go for this one, but it's almost impossible.
Balik duelis enggak? Gua nggak mau.
Making the right play here, just backing off and saving it. Any exit kills would still be valuable, but again, really difficult even to go for that as Scary's Viper's Pit extends into back halls. Yeah. And the way the Xerxia are approaching these B site hits is very good. I think leaning more B than A is going to be a decent idea for them heading deeper into this half. Because the Northeption defense is very heavy about just remaining in hookah. And it's weakening their long control, it's weakening their sight hold.
Juliusnya Fikri. Kenapa jadi Fikri anjing? Itu goblok Hero gara suka nge-spill tolol. Crosshairnya Foxy kalau dempaknya lagi kena enak banget, Cok.
Very back and forth. Previous maps we were witnessing these long stretches of teams winning round after round after round, but this time it's an even match.
Flashes on either side here. Spike leaning over towards Showers. These beginnings to the round, the A side leaning default has not been particularly successful for Xerxia. Keep getting picked off over towards Showers.
Yeah. The boombot being dropped down. Zen trying to buy a bit of space. His teammate who did cross over to that side. The Viper Wall blocks.
There are 4 players looking to rotate immediately here just because Meteor.
Kucing goreng kontol lu anjing.
Already taken all this space as well, giving it up, but they do not clear that corner. They don't expect him. Right around the side. Showers controlled, maintained, and they are in full control of this A site.
And these A site hits are just not it from Xerxia.
FK pesan AW bangsat.
They don't have Showers control. And Scary can try do what he might. They're not getting through this one.
Anjing keras lagi suaranya anjing, kucing goreng tolol lu. Kagetnya natural banget.
Yeah. It is. It should be punishable. But Xerxia haven't figured out that they're doing it yet, and also the A site hits are just commanding no respect, really. I suppose they are rotating players, but they're still committing to the site and getting crushed. Northeption do look confident with this competition. They are leading in terms
Aduh ngakak banget diem Owen anjing.
and now they've knocked Xerxia back down to an eco.
Money not good. Ults are there. They choose to use them, but look at these Northeption players tucked into the corner. This is incredibly precarious. They are just contacting all the way up behind it.
This is just based on information in prior rounds. They know nobody holds lamps, there's no
Doesn't
trademark.
expect it. Just thought it was the one player still lurking through. Northeption, they have bodies, they have guns to try and hold it down. They've given a bit of space still up to Xerxia. Showstopper committed. Zen just wants to drop it down, even forces one of the teleports.
2 teleports. And do they go back to A? They do. How do Northeption adjust to this?
I mean, this is just ridiculous. A a minute on the clock. They're looking to retake Shower's control.
Oh, perfect reposition. I mean, I love this from Jojo. He's gathering info, but also he's gonna just be in the perfect spot to deny the plant once Scary and Cruz get back to A.
Yeah, they can just crush any sort of attempt to try and plant on
The same contact down short.
Tolol banget anjing.
They even get any better weaponry? No, they just doubled up. And
Abigail.
Nade back online for Zen.
Abigail.
Cruz find out what the aim punch assisting him, but yeah.
Abigail.
Expect the reposition, does he?
And Jojo, it was a gorgeous idea with the two going through. There was a trademark in hookah as well that entire time, so they knew that it was going to come back to A.
Yeah.
If you don't break the trademark in hookah, I mean, where have you
just
gone?
Can't fake it.
Where have you gone in the?
Buzz Lightyear, the world's greatest superhero now, the world.
You end up teaming back over into Showers, so very smart decision. On the attack side, playing entry, same kind of story as their split. Sushi Boys needs to step up and delivering more of these frags, more of these entries, and take the load off.
Kontol.
Here comes Northeption.
What a push all the way through. Long control gained.
Ada NWJ juga anjing. Kaget banget gua.
Before he finds one of his own and the spray down. Cruz working with the Vandal, but two heads once more. Just fast rotate.
Tok sumpah. Aduh ya. Gua lagi nontonin anjing, udah. Ngentot gede banget suaranya anjing.
Cruz is looking up to the sky like he's got a molly lineup as well. So he finds the one, but look, he's just dropped down. Unless it's whiffed, he's going to be bled off the clock. Got nothing to work with. He has to get on this immediately. The snakebite finding it, he is just falling so low, and it's so well played by Xerxia. Yeah,
and that's the thing. As soon as you see Cruz and Scary left alive at the end of these rounds, they're going to have post-plant lineups from any position on the map.
Diam Expectro anjing. Gua kaget sumpah. Jantung gua udah dua kali ngentot.
Like I said, the actual decision making there was really good from Sushi Boys and Cruz to read the B long aggression with 3 players and instantly take hookah control. They tie this back up at 5 apiece.
2 rounds one way, another.
Let's play.
Just going back and forth.
Incredibly back and forth.
Deep lineup, just to feign that they could be lurking up A shore. I mean, they've done it a couple of times. Xerxia on their attack side.
It's one of the first times that Northeption are putting a heavy emphasis on defending that area. They have a trademark, an operator, and Blackwiz playing all around short.
Scary going for this snakebite lineup. This is actually going to be landing, I think, at the top of B long. Something that Fnatic popularized. The dog as well to try and take some space off of it. But there's a deep smoke.
Lu kalau lihat lu kaget juga kayaknya ketawa sih.
Looks like this is supposed to be the same exact where they put pressure towards B and end A.
Gak gue gimana ya? Gue kaget. Tai dah. Tau dah. Gue gak enak di jantung gue gak enak anjing.
So low here.
7 seconds
The
left. The players are still split.
Where are they going? They're so indecisive here.
Yeah, they were at a loss, honestly, for answers. They're just trying to solo fake, I think, with Sushi Boys. The nade! He takes so much damage.
Gila, delaynya si Blackwiz pintar banget.
20 seconds. Where is the spike going to end? The wall is up. Taking so much decay damage.
Tapi lebih pintar lagi.
They take him out. Spike going to start to get planted. Meteor wasn't able to watch down these sight lines.
The key component was getting
kalau enak kelainan jadi.
Spamming out the snake bites, trying to hold back the horde. Northeption on the retake.
Shocked that they managed to get this into the post plan, but now they can start to hold these positions.
Watching here.
And this retake. That's a difficult one. Surf's got the one. Trademark dropped the slow field. Meteor's able to return a bit of fire, but you're just losing so many players to try and help it. And guess what? The longer you take, the less likely it looks.
Yeah, there goes that molly. Player advantage as well.
Just gotta save.
And Northeption, yeah, they simply have to save this one. Xerxia, at least 6 rounds have been able to be covered in this half. I think that's extremely.
Kiri apa kanan, Bang? Iya, kiri apa kanan, Bang?
I think that might be the only one that they've managed to execute effectively.
And even in
Hello?
I'm eating right now.
One of the big differences is
Good,
that
yeah.
they didn't get the read that it was an A hit. There weren't 4 players waiting for them. There was only 2, in fact. And look at how well they dealt with Blackwiz.
I'll be happy right now.
Happy right now?
I mean, I was getting panicked.
Yeah.
Don't think they were.
So short. But
Good.
they squeeze it out. One final round left in this first half.
Lu mirror apa enggak?
Final
Tebak dong.
elimination game.
Tebak dong. Spektro.
This snake bite that we were seeing earlier, just from the lineup, comes from Scary as well. It allows him to keep and hold control of A short, just in case there is a lurk on the defending side. But this double push out of Showers, and going to be meeting Meteor. Trailblazer gets broken. They have to anticipate that he could be posted up on this angle, and it looks like they are moving away from it.
There isn't very much map control over by B, and they're starting to run out of good utility to push Meteor away. No Trailblazer, no flash.
You're contacting it.
Wah, Meteor si jago sih Nara.
Wow, Fox just
Gila.
Meteor sees him first.
Tries to take the fight again, but Meteor's going to get punished. The double satchel in, the spray is not quite good enough. Orbital strike, it does split the team up. They can't follow themselves into the site. They can't take control of their duelists.
And there's no map control here. If Blackwiz can get
Katanya.
Guns aren't quite ready, and they've got their knives out. 35 seconds left. Viper's pit online. Why not just drop it? A nade on top of it.
Oh, gila.
Scary's gonna fall. 6-6. It's pure chaos.
Kalau dari mic,
Pure chaos.
headset sih mirror.
It is a very good half from Northeption, considering they don't have
Emang ada bedanya kepala telur ini kiri kan?
Blackwiz has suddenly turned up out of nowhere.
Ya, salah. Spektro salah.
On that defensive side. He was able to
Padahal mudah banget.
value the
Lu
rotator intelligent too.
cacat banget Spektro.
Believe that they are going
Nih
to
ya.
advance in this tournament.
Kan headset itu selalu di kiri. Nggak mungkin headset itu di kanan. Jadi kalau yang kanan gua angkat, berarti kalau yang selain yang kiri yang gua selain yang ada mic yang gua angkat berarti yang kanan dong. Kan mic selalu di kiri nih. Cacat. Kocak.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to see a little bit out of Meteor. We thought we might have a bit of a change off of the Neon. We weren't sure what we'd get. And instead we got Meteor Chamber instead of Zinfree going back to the chamber himself.
Mic kanan. Mic di kiri anjing.
We're currently sitting Surf being diffed.
Ngomong apa sih? Enggak. Nih kan, mic. Lu kalau beli headset, mic itu selalu di kiri kan? Mic-nya selalu di kiri kan? Kan gua tadi ngelepas yang sebelahnya. Kenapa jadi kanan mic-nya anjing? Mic kiri kocak. Mic earphone kanan. Kiri anjing, lu lihat tuh. Serve sama si ini kiri juga. Gak jelas lu Ban bilang mic kanan. Goblok. Hayes gua nggak ada mic-nya.
But whatever they give us in this second half, their attacks have to be pack mentality again. It has to be Haven-esque.
At Blackwiz, Josh said it, has been a monster.
Yeah.
Again, out of nowhere, his Viper has been so good. And now that they're switching halves, like
Salah, Spektro salah.
For him to do Blackwiz things.
All right, well, you heard from the desk. It's tied 6-6 right here on Bind.
Mic kiri. Gua dari tadi ngomong kiri, kontol. Gua dari tadi ngomong kiri, gua selalu ngomong kiri. Gua kan ngomongin yang headsetnya yang nggak gua pakai itu di kanan, bangsat. Kan gua nggak pakai full nih. Koplo. Yang gue maksud yang dipakai. Oh, yang dipakai. Gue pikir lu ngomongin yang nggak dipakai, yang nggak dipakai yang di kanan. Belok kiri, terus. Mundur.
Jam.
Shut up, baby Gil ya.
Sky Flash is a full committal into it, but the nade does so much work. Decay as they run through the walls. It all comes tumbling down. A pistol round gained for Xerxia.
Sushi Boy's just casually doubling his kills from the first half with one nade there. Not too shabby whatsoever.
Kan ada kitab Bani.
But it's Surf that really shuts down the play that was happening on the other
Goblok.
side.
Kan tadi apa? Gue kira pertanyaannya itu yang gak gue pakai karena kan gue lepasin sebelah nih kayak gini nih.
Oh my goodness.
Northeption with no spike plant, no opportunity to force coming into this one. So barring anything crazy occurring, we're expecting Xerxia to take an incredibly important lead.
Has to be essentially the full eco.
Kayak menang nih Xerxia nih.
Damage, but he does get away with a kill. On the other side, you can see Meteor. He did invest into the half armor and a couple of headhunter bullets, maybe enough to turn the tide of this round, but it's going to take more than that. The satchel!
Langsung lempar satchel bosku.
Sets him up.
Frame perfect satchel. that was very nice from Sushi Boys. Supporting himself and Xerxia a clean sweep, a prime game in flawless. Both of these teams, Brent, not only are they playing for elimination right here in the second half of Bind, but
dari Ali. Map 1 tidung, map 2 bunuh, map 3-nya tidung lagi anjing.
In APAC and Japan, and each one of them wants to make their own story. It's more than just eliminating the other. It's being the team that people respect.
Yeah, taking the win and carrying it home all the way. It's the hopes and dreams, I think, for both of these teams who make it. They travel so far to get to these global events.
And going out in last place would be devastating for that.
Anjing keren boy.
Fast approach once more. There's the snake bite. Trailblazer.
Sumpah keren gak bohong anjing.
Holding close to it, but with the trademark destroyed, that's just spam. They anticipate the lurk.
Yeah, the timing too obvious there from Blackwiz. As soon as he breaks the trademark, walks into the sight line, and you very rarely see people die going for that.
Cyberboard.
Blackwiz trying to force the issue now.
Cyberboard apaan bang? Rahmat.
They've had a stellar record when it comes to trying to convert these buy rounds into these bonuses, but now a lot of damage being dealt. All these players just swarming through. Meteor finds a good one. Foxy falling. Teleporting play as well. Looks like they want to try and pivot into B.
I think they know that Zen is still around here. But Surf might still have a lot on his plate. No, in fact, the Spike and the rest of the Northeption players coming back over to A. I'm pretty sure Sushi Boys is
keyboard yang lu bilang alay. Oh.
Didn't hear enough people teleporting.
Yeah.
And Crew's positioning
masih Bang Rahmat.
Similar to JoJo's in the other half. That Shower's position is very strong against a short repush.
Untung aja pintu gua kayak gitu.
Two smokes dropped.
Pintu gua yang biasa orang donate anjing yang paling normal. Wah pinter. Gak ada satchel lagi ya. Ada.
Pace is the name of the game. Running the way through, a bit of spam into the smoke. It's not enough to deal with the planter. All up to Cruz. The Spectre, not the best, is it? Long range fights, he's not suited to it.
Yang kayu, iya.
There are two very weak players, but JoJo's trying to keep them safe.
I think this positioning as well.
Kata gua kata dari Ali.
They know exactly how to play this. Doubled up.
Lihat shower dari Ali, wih. Lihat shower, lihat U-Haul dari Ali.
Drops it down. Now there's a rifle, spots the one, but there you go. From high and low, they clean it up and they do get the round just barely.
And Northeption once more being exceptional at halting momentum, not allowing these bonus rounds to get converted. There was damage done. That one got a little pricey.
Wes party capek juga ya, Cok ya.
Might have done what they needed to have a
Nontonin
good
orang.
round 16. Northeption definitely playing a little bit with the teleporters, trying to allow Meteor to work solo picks.
Yeah.
Pintu kayu. Abis ini masih ada satu lagi. Tapi di last lah gua.
And that's a weapon he has online again, as there is some short aggression.
Very deep smoke.
It's a 4-player stack A, and Xerxia are going for a bit of a gamble here. Sometimes these are gonna bite them.
Especially when Surf's got this operator. The rendezvous's just behind him, so he can escape if he gets pressured.
Capean yang main. Kagak lah. Lu main cuma 3 map anjing. Mentok-mentok 3 map. Ini yang watch party berapa? 3 game. Udah Owen anjing. Udah kuat jantung gua sekarang. Gua doain lu punya istri 4 jangan abang. Anjas udah terlatih nih. Kagak. Lu lihat. Gak full. Kagak full anjing. Spike as well being found, but that's the reload, and that triggers the push. Jojo straight through to Smokes is going to be dealing with him. Very pesky play indeed. Forced to play this retake. So many players now just contacting, making a couple of footsteps. Sersha needs to try and I'm so smart, bro. Still the angle's being held. It's a jiggle. Reali has given up his position, has to back away now and play with the rest of his team, but still the pressure is on. And they need to push them back. Nice try, bro. A bit of a whiffage, but the reset, the spray down, it does transfer correctly. Meteor gets the one, and it just feels like there's just not enough behind this with the retake. Sumpah bisa kalah, cok.
Yeah, and the 4-player gamble over towards A from Xerxia just offered Northeption. Good luck. Too much of an easy post plant there. It's all right for the beginning
takut gua.
But in an economic swing situation to just allow them onto the B site, especially with how long they had.
Ini Meteor jago.
I'm not sure what the call was there, but Northeption very happy to get a free post plant off.
Ini dari Ali. Teriak mulu lu 4-12 dari Ali anjing. Biar gue langsung dibeliin AW. Udah serve, mati serve. Di granat, di muli.
He's the only chance his team has of winning this round, so I don't mind it, but not able to find anything here.
Losing control, okay, getting the knives out, but it's looking.
Lu lihat si Meteor bunuh 3. Pick elbow nih, Meteor nih. Pick elbow dong, Meteor. Gue mau lihat 4 kill. Kasih badilnya seru yang ada di Santa Telares. Tok bisa kalah tok sumpah, nggak bohong gue. Xerxia, gue baru inget mereka nggak terlalu jago di bind. Makanya gue beberapa kali lawan Xerxia selalu nge-pick bind. Biarpun kita kalah juga, tapi map yang paling mereka least stronger ya bind. HyperX sudah main belum? Meteor menang nih. Meteor menang nih. Meteor menang nih. Meteor menang nih.
Just a slight edge. Meteor can see the elbow sticking out and it gives him the advantage.
That's huge. I mean, that is just the model.
Jongkok tarik iya anjing. Lu dibantai jauh tapi kemarin pas di attacker gimana tuh? Ya dia juga gua menang di Tero juga. Gua menang di CT juga. Gua dapat berapa? Dapat 5 di CT. 10-2, 5-2. Mereka paling least stronger di sini. Kalah ini SRC nih sumpah. Meteor masih hidup lagi. Gila.
Scary had too much to do there. Zen in a position where he was just a tasty morsel of bait.
21-7 cok nih orang gila dah.
21st kill across 18 rounds. He's dominant.
Lu lihat tuh, orang udah nahan angle cok. Topiknya tipis terus.
They have Fox in a position where he can flash.
Looks like they really wanted to fight that.
But I think again, Sushi Boy sends in his ultimate. It gets one pick, and then instantly he just gets overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And he's not able to have the impact that you would want from somebody we've seen previously at this event.
Masa iya NTH Cinderella Story? Kayaknya belum deh.
That is so much damage.
Kayak belum.
The orb gained.
Dia menang lawan Sersia.
Spam the smoke. They know.
Kalaupun menang lawan Sersia, menurut gue dia bakal kalah nextnya.
The Viper's Pit. Cruz with his ultimate as well.
Menurut gue ya.
Really going to fight for this round. Looking to try and deny the plan. Sushi Boys. Perfect Bucky range.
Yep. The shotgun in play, but an orbital strike to try and punish him. And they work their way around as Sushi Boy was just trying to escape away from him. Black was, he had the angle, he had the sight line, and he had the rifle. Damage being found, but Jojo okay, caught with the utility. Just trying to flash for his team.
Yeah, a bit weird there. He had an option that could have resulted in that win.
So precarious.
And now Cruz, they're investing all of the ultimates here.
I mean, why not? Potentially a winnable round. The orbital strike, it does give them the angle, but there's nobody to really follow it up. Cruz looking,
Menang nih Sersia nih.
ready and waiting, the patience. It pays off into one, but still they're dealing with it. They've got the angles locked. Another shot with the Sheriff. Can't find the gun, but it is the 2v1. 3 kills for Cruz. Nothing to deny to defuse.
And an awesome investment of ultimate.
Masih bisa menang, Cok. Tadi kalau kalah ini bisa pulang mereka langsung.
Extremely well executed from Xerxia.
What a round to win for them.
They used everything in order to scavenge an eco together that keeps this crucial map. That is the difference between them advancing to face FPX again or being sent home. They use every ultimate to make sure that the gap is only one.
Yeah, one of the most vital rounds that we've seen in this series. A proper tipping point, just with the economy, the way the momentum's going. But look at that, 4 rounds in a row for Northception. Finally stopped in its tracks with that.
It's going to be obvi up again over a short.
They're going to be fighting each other right away, aren't they? Look at this. Contact being played. That's a leg shot. Tries to answer back, damage done, but no kills traded.
Dua-duanya AWP nembak sekali langsung cabut, Cok.
Licking their wounds. Ready for the next war.
Ini wallnya siapa sih? Oh, dia ngikutin wallnya Sersia. Si Black Wiz ngikutin wallnya Sersia, Cok.
And with that early pressure towards A short, Foxy actually started to rotate onto A. And now Northception have pumped the brakes, similarly to what they were doing on their split. On their Haven side, where their attack rounds were so good. And they go
pause bentar. Lu kira kagak live anjing?
This is in all likelihood going to be an A re-hit.
Jagib tolol.
Are going to think that there's something behind this on B.
And they must do, right? The flash didn't connect. It only was on the Trailblazer, and players are now looking away up. No positioning was given up.
Can surf Rendezvous to help the rest of his team. I think he's used it already. I think he used it too much.
Kalah ini.
Just lost control of Lamps. I don't know if he would want to go into this.
Berat nih, berat.
Viper's Pit drop down. Perception could be setting themselves up.
Sushi Boys has the nade.
There's a nade to try and deny it. And the Brim Molly as well, just trying to be stuck. So much.
Tapi delaynya Sersia sih tai banget.
And now 14 seconds left. Josh
Touch lagi, bro.
is running solo into this one. The Molly just walks straight back into it. Xerxia ready for it. Fox just beams the 2 of them, and the swing is impeccable.
Sushi Boy nyelamatin anjing. Sushi Boy benar-benar nyelamatin. Sushi Boy kagak nge-kill. Tapi dia nyelamatin Ron tai.
Brimstone Molly down on the plant. They used nade. Sushi Boys used 1 satchel, 2 satchels, swung into it, sprayed into it. They were determined to ensure.
Tuh, lu lihat gimana kemarin gua ngeplan. Agent gua kemarin bridge neon chamber. Mau ngapain gua? Mereka yang ada Viper sama Razi aja. Mereka yang ada Viper sama Razi aja nggak bisa ngeplan. Kenapa ngomong sama gua, Lucky? Nyelamatin pakai California roll. Chat aku aja nggak di respon Pufu. Apaan bang pas? Masuk bu misalkan nih, misalkan dari 4 Sersia, gua mau ambil selain scary, gua ambil Foxy. Ya, gua ambil Foxy. Buat jadi IGL. Sekalian Sopa. Sofa fit ya bener. Gua ambil Fauzi karena dia IGL. Lu pernah ke Malang nggak pernah? Neon kan mesti perang terus, iya makanya gimana caranya gua ngeplan kemarin. Orang mereka ada Viper aja nggak bisa. Nggak nge-T nih, nge-T dulu bos. Smoker scary atau main freak Jagib. Duelis gua ambil duelis gua ambil Jason, IGL-nya gua ambil Zes atau Stax. Oke ya. Jingga. Gue bisa main Sentinel, gue bisa main Smoker, udah ada Scary. Berarti duelis udah ada, IGL udah ada. IGL Alexi. Abi diem ya, nggak diajak. Pokoknya Scary. Anggapan Zes. Stax lah. Scary, Stax, Jason, gua, sama apa ya? Sama Bas kayaknya deh.
And this is the level of impact I need to see from Sushi Boys. Sure, he goes down towards the end here, but he's set up a 2v1 for his team that they should be able to execute. And Fox grabs it. Sushi Boys there on the rotate.
Oh, bisa ngambil luar juga. Kalau bisa ngambil luar juga mah gua nggak bakal ngambil Asia semua bangsat. Semua region berarti bisa. Alfajer, Derke, IGL-nya gua ambil Boster. IGL-nya Boster, gua bisa jadi Sentinel. Sopanya gua ambil gue suka banget sama siapa namanya yang Sentinel dulu siapa namanya bukan Sentinel Kohabi, we don't talk to you ya, we don't need Kohabi duelist ya.
Why? Kohabi shogunnya?
Sofa ambil Shazam, kagak. Sofa idiot anjing. Brief, enggak. Siapa sih namanya? Chronicle, Boster, Derke, Alfajer. Gak mungkin gua average Jonas, gua gak mungkin anjing. Lu nya numpang menang, iya makanya. Kalau bisa begitu mah enak. IGL-nya ada Boster. Gue cuman main doang. Duelist ada Alfajar, ada Derke. Hah? Gak mau sasi enggak? Derke yakin lah. Menurut gue Derke itu player paling stabil. Lu lihat Sinet sekarang nggak bisa ngekill sebanyak dulu. Siapa? Ten sekarang, lu lihat. Siapa lagi yang jago? Siapapun yang jago kemarin, lu lihat Derke dari dulu pernah nggak dia bot frag kayak nggak bisa ngekill gitu? El Diablo enggak. Kalau ada El Diablo, role-nya terlalu apa namanya? Terlalu nge-stuck.
just when it looked like they might be losing their grip, they are right back into things. Serve trying to, I mean, look at this. He's just inside the molly that's been thrown out based on his rendezvous location.
Bocil tense.
You know, trying to stop any retakers flooding into the site. And that's
Gak usah ada lu-nya. Kalau nggak ada lu ya gue masukin Nuts. Nuts Chronicle. Nuts Chronicle. Iya bener. Chronicle Smoker. Terus DRK. Iya bener. Satu tim mak satu nggak mau. Ini eskalasi, accurate, ear, reverse. Mending gua nggak usah main. Ada eskalasi. Udah ada eskalasi, ada rayak lagi. Satunya cuman main jet doang, satunya cuman main raze doang. Mati aja timnya anjing. Satunya ngebit parah. Coach siapa? Coach Pep Guardiola. Aimer ini paling keras siapa? Jason lah anjing. Yang satunya lagi marah-marah terus. sorry strawberry. Kan gue bilang kan susah cok. Kalah. Tapi bagus banget emang NTH mainin itunya. Dream Team Indo. Gua Jason main freak. Susah nih anjing. Smoker ada. Hagai. Sama siapa ya? Apalagi yang kurang? Apalagi yang kurang? Duelist udah ada. Inisiator. Inisiator harusnya gue ngajak Famos. Cahaya. Orang inisiator Cahaya bangsat. Kus itu udah ada kan role-nya inisiator itu udah ada. Iya makanya gue ambil si Famos. BME Famos. Gue ngomongin Famos pada BME Famos goblok. Dari tadi gue ngomongin orang lain gak ada. Smoker udah ada, duelist udah ada. Inisiator belum ada kan tadi. Apalagi namanya? Siapa sih? Kohabi no ya. Oh ya ada Jason duelist udah ada. Gila Scary mainnya aman banget lihat. Nice. Bam, set. Why you set?
Inside his smoke, and they just never dealt with Scary. The biggest difference there being that the B players didn't fight and give up the site.
Satu Kohabi. Oh my god, look like Kohabi ulti. Best IGL war. Dream Team India gak ngaruh anjing.
Would we have it any other way? Some of these players as well. I mean, this can be
Kenapa lu pilih main flick dibanding bolot? Karena gua pengen pengalaman dia sama ide kan dia dari tim lain, jadi idenya tuh ada yang baru gitu. Kalau lu dari satu tim, idenya ya cuman itu aja karena lu satu tim. Hammer cewek paling sakit di Asia. Si Abi. Kenapa lu pilih Famous buat masuk boom tolol? Anjay, nggak serius. Lu kalau gue udah setim sama David, terus ya ujung-ujungnya gue lagi yang nge-call kan. Kalau lu ada tim lain jadi lu tahu yang bagus tuh yang mana gitu. Kalau ini Real Kawadal sakit juga. Satu IGL kah? Gak ditolong. Susah nolongnya. Wah, dari Ali pintar. Gila masih bunuh 2 cok. Tengok bacanya dibeli kagak. Emang sakit sih Abi. Wah, pinter banget Black Wiz anjing. Nggak pinter. Ini mereka kalau 2 lawan 1 tolol banget dah orang-orang NTH ini. Nice. Ini orang-orang NTH kalau 2 lawan 1 tolol banget dah, sumpah gua nggak ngerti lagi dah. Sumpah anjing tolol banget dah. Tolol banget anjing kalau 2 lawan 1, sumpah nggak bohong gua. Ini tim Jepang ini tolol banget. Tolol banget anjing. Tadi yang di Haven 2 lawan 1. Satunya di garasi, satunya di celong. Goblok banget 2 lawan 1-nya. Mending NTH ini apa Zeta? Zeta lah. Next time when I use race call. No. Apakah Zeta more than NTH? Iya anjing. Emang beneran? Better than NTH. I'll show you guys. No. Goblok banget 2 lawan 1-nya anjing. Udah lama banget. Elbow-nya jalan. CT-nya jalan duluan. Kenapa nggak berdua gitu? Satunya maju duluan apa? Daripada kayak gitu anjing. Kayak tadi tuh yang di Haven ya. Satu di celong. Yang di celong darahnya 30. Satu di garasi. 70% tim menurut gua bakal suruh yang celongnya itu maju duluan. Dia malah dogi. Terus pas doginya baru ketahuan. Terus telat defuse-nya. Semuanya kemana tadi cok? Camade ya? Information going to be gained for the rest of the team, and they've got the crossfire and angles held down. They gotta know. The North Reception, they're just leaning over towards B. But there's only 2 players there. Mau gambling nggak? Enggak. Itu nggak bisa ngomong gambling. Bukan gambling cok itu. Lama banget.
Look at where Fox is. He's all the way into the cave system. Catching this lurk and this wraparound, man. I mean,
Bisa lewat nggak, Foxy? Bisa ya? Oh, enggak. Aduh, ya Allah, satchelnya telat malah menyelamatkan anjing. Satchelnya salah jadi selamat dia, cok.
Incredible push from Meteor. Finds the opener up through elbow. Constant pressure applied. And that flank, it found nothing. No. The timing just...
Kobe Reza all yes, yeah. Of course. Sarang headset. You are so weird. Meteor 27 kill, 13 dead. My god. Lu lihat. Gila, bulu 3 nih orang. Jago banget, cok. Maybe you need to teach Bunny how to use Spectre. Oh my god. Oh my god. Teach me how to use Spectre.
Same kind of story from the Northeption defense, putting a really heavy emphasis on hookah control. And Meteor re-pushes after the flash. This is just... What a read!
Lihat Meteor.
Just demonic. What a read that flash had nothing behind it.
Smokin kanannya, Jok.
Unfortunately though, his smoke player is not in
Smokin.
position to smoke this trademark off at all.
Dia lagi nunggu nih. Smokin ini lagi posisi gua nih ngomong sama bumbu dapur. Smokin, woi, Brimstone. Brimstone, goblok. Dipecahin.
Trademark gets broken actually. It's just going to be hard committing now. Moving his way through the case because this is going to be the push that's committed.
Oh, kalah nih Sersia nih. Bagus banget anjing. Sumpah bagus banget, cok.
And Sersha are befuddled. What was that? The meat grinder that they walked into. How did they
kalah nih Sersia nih.
It's all Meteor, baby. Yeah. It's all Meteor.
When I go into rank game with pro, yeah, because the pro gonna carry you. You can only motivate them because you 5'4", 17. Bagus banget.
And that was simple. It was trivial.
Yeah. They just knew what was coming. The setup was there.
And I feel like I've seen this story before, bro.
Oh, I've seen it.
Northeption.
I've definitely seen it before.
Japanese.
Gila, coachnya, cok.
Looking to punch upwards for sure here. Xerxia, I would say, are in the same tier bracket as Northeption, but with tons more experience, more time together as a roster. Definitely Northeption punching up in this game. They find themselves.
BME could be just trial, but she realized she can have better team, lol. Hello? Itu temannya Hugh, gak tau gue.
Send Xerxia home. This is it. That's why the timeout's being called. Cooking something up, some sort of plan of action. Xerxia, I mean, they're just stewing, aren't they?
They really are. I think they'll be benefiting somewhat from the timeout as well. Of course, as a pro, you need to always have that ability to calm yourself down in these moments. Mastering the mental game, one of the most difficult but crucial elements.
Before I signing contract with the Chelsea. You are such a joker now.
Looking like they can take this series. The battle lines are drawn. The teams, they look like they want to try and meet over towards B long here. Just dodging the sky flash, not giving away too much information. Oh, but Northeption pushing up forwards. It's going to be the wide swing. No kill to be found. No players dispatched.
Sabar cok. Masuk nih dia, masuk B nih. Masuk B nih mereka nih, mati.
Flash position serve falling so low and Northeption, they can feel it. Ready and waiting. Foxy couldn't get it.
Aduh.
Scary gets picked trying to come through the wall. It's all up to Sushi boys. The one way. And they just can't stand up to a 10 health. Northeption, they can feel it and a spam through the wall. The wall bang will finalize it.
Meteor sih jago banget sih, sumpah nih orang jago banget.
Northeption have another life in the tournament. They continue, they progress, and it's Sersha that gets sent home.
So many people, Josh. So many people giving up on this team off the back of their loss to DRX.
Yeah, but it's the same story as Zeta Division.
The script writers are getting lazy.
Oh, I thought you about to join them.
They've been in this spot so many times before, never been able to go on a deep run in a tournament. Playoffs a couple of, well, once.
Meteor is so good.
They've seen the road marked out before them. Zeta have walked it. Now Northeption take their first step along it. Looking to mark their own path, tread perhaps their own footsteps along.
Still treacherous though, Josh.
It is a very treacherous path.
This win puts them up against FPX. It's a match that's going to be difficult. FPX have definitely been finding their footing over the course of this tournament, but I mean, just take a look at how back and forth these highlights are. Amazing moments.
But what an awesome map for Meteor to show us the star talent that he truly is.
9 first bloods. 9 first bloods in this map.
I told you at the
Meteor
beginning
jago banget,
that he gets 47% of the first bloods for Northeption, which is by far and away #1 out of all of the teams at the event. He is the hardest carry player that we have at Copenhagen. And he puts on a masterful performance for them there on Bind, playing not his normal role. He does occasionally play Chamber, but he's more known for the Jet, for the Neon that he sometimes picks up. He gets 9 first bloods, the rest of his team gets 6.
Gila.
That's monstrous.
Fucking good game anjing.
And also, you still get those step-ups from other people, like Jojo, for example. Finishes 24 and 16.
Orang jago banget anjing. Pendek begini.
Doing work for Japan.
It means so much to them. So we're casting this Josh as well. I mean, listen, the headset's pretty good at cancelling out noise for us.
You don't get result.
Yeah. Both sides that don't
I
give
know.
up at the end of the day. Northeption are the ones. They come out on top.
And it's a great performance that should give them some confidence heading into the game against FPX.
Mereka dibantai-bantai sama DRX sih, tapi udah beda level anjing.
FPX have a sub. It's a winnable game for Northeption. Yeah. They will go home today, or not go home, but they will go back to their hotel today, and they will feel the ability for themselves to progress into playoffs, into knockouts. Yeah. They'll see.
Ban, taruhan gue pegang NTH. Mana ada lu mau tadi nggak ada yang mau, goblok.
Batter their way through the Thai team today.
Yeah. I mean, that was the question.
Tadi gua ajakin 100 kapeler.
Jojo, but at the end of the day, Meteor just delivered for them.
It's got to go to Meteor.
He went crazy on both of the maps that they won.
Main kompe 1 nggak? Tangan gua udah dingin. Aduh. I'm good. Abis ini siapa? Abis ini Optik sama Loud. Tapi gue nggak bisa nonton ya guys ya. Karena gue capek banget. Gue kalaupun nonton gue mau nonton sambil tiduran aja. Lagi high. Udah gue cabut dulu semuanya. Thank you ya udah datang, ya udah like, ada subscribe, ya udah nonton dari tadi. Tidur gue ban ya, tidur juga ban. Bye-bye semuanya. Have a nice day. Makasih banyak udah datang guys. See you next week. Next week kita nonton. Lebih seru pertandingannya. Next week enak. Udah playoff. Udah seru cok. Oke? Thank you semuanya. Have a nice day. Discord dulu ini. Mau Discord ini mah. Bye-bye. See you guys. Have a nice day. Kamis ya, udah Kamis berarti. Ciao guys.